Good afternoon. It is 3 o'clock. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone studios. The Titans are back on the practice field today as they get set to head to Landover, Maryland to face the Washington Commanders on Sunday. No sign of Calvin Ridley, Roger McCreary, or Arden Key during the open portion of practice. Leroy Watson, Harold Landry, Jeff Simmons, and Jalen Duncan all reportedly working on a side field at practice today. Brian Callahan spoke with the media earlier today and described what the team would be facing in star quarterback Jaden Daniels.
He's so poised in the pocket. He doesn't get rattled. He moves around well. He finds lanes. He knows when and where to run, and he's also very quick with the draw, knows when to run, knows how to get out of bounds and get down. He's sort of the driver of their run game and their pass game.
Number 7, Tennessee basketball will host UT Martin today with tip-off beginning any minute now. You can stay tuned into 3HL for updates on that game happening in Knoxville. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Bulls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Yo, what up, Nashville? 3HL is on the air. Britt Doherty with you on a beautiful day in the Music City. It's cloudy. It's a little chilly. But we're all here.
Yes, we are.
It's a beautiful day in the Music City. Dawn Davenport is on assignment. She'll be back on Monday. I see a lot of orange in this room.
It's a lot of orange in this room, Yoro.
I see a lot of orange in the other room, too.
This car ain't got no roof, ladies and gentlemen.
Meanwhile, I got dressed today, and I was like, I'm wearing, like, all white and black. I need to put on my black with orange-facing watch. Make sure people know.
You did enough, Yoro. I'll take this off and give you this one. Because I got a Boom Boom shirt on underneath. What kind of language? I guess I was going to say these and neath at the same. These.
Babs ain't here, man.
Babs is not. Hey, can we treat this? Oh!
What?
I forgot.
By the way, last night I was watching Kansas and Duke.
I'm going to miss my bed.
And when Hunter Dickinson got thrown out of the game,
yeah,
I thought about how Mr. Privileged UConn head coach would have responded in that situation.
As would have been.
Because it was a very questionable call.
Yep.
Their best player.
Yep.
Against the tallest team in America, and you're just going to take the 7'2" guy and sit him on the bench. Which, by the way, when you're thrown out of the game, you're supposed to leave the court.
Yeah, what did
he sat
Hunter
on the
think?
bench for like 10 minutes.
How did he think that was okay? That's what I'm trying to figure
Before
out.
they were like, how do you miss a 7'2" guy on the bench?
Yeah,
like,
son,
I didn't see him.
You're booted, son. It's time for you to go. Like, you did enough.
Meanwhile, we may be a little distracted today because Tennessee is playing UT Martin behind Slay Dog.
Sure
and Tennessee is a
is.
38.5-point favorite in this game.
38 is high.
Speaking about basketball, did y'all see
It is high.
Indiana get absolutely destroyed by Louisville?
I wasn't going to bring this up, but I knew that Zeph would.
Zeph is always waiting on stuff like this.
Because you're going to tie that to Tennessee blowing Louisville out
Absolutely.
at Louisville.
Absolutely.
And this was on a neutral site. And then you're going to tie it to football with Indiana. By the way, Travis Harder, God love him, called me last night because of some of my tweets. And I knew it. I knew when I was tweeting.
You knew he was going to hit you.
Yeah. So we had a discussion. I said, listen, this is nothing about Indiana. This is about how stupid it is that teams ranked like 20th could end up with a bye and jump a bunch of teams that would not only beat them, but blow them out.
Yeah.
Boise State being one of them.
Harder probably didn't talk. He didn't like that.
No, he did. He agreed.
Oh, he did agree. Okay, good.
Yeah, it's harder to communicate like a full message in a tweet.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. No question.
That's why, like, if you get into an argument on text message, somebody put the phone down.
Golly, I want to bet right now.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And either call or go see that person face to face. Anyway, what are you wanting to bet?
Basketball.
Oh, it's already started, Slade.
I know, but it's a lot of other games, too.
Oh. Executive producer at 3HL is Zeph.
What's up?
What up, Zephyr?
All right, we have a very busy day today.
Busy day, busy
Number
day.
one, happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Man, most definitely. Happy Thanksgiving.
I know we ask this every year, but I forget things that are said yesterday, much less a year ago. Zeph, what is and you weren't even here last year for this, what is your favorite Thanksgiving side?
Ooh, side?
Yes. I'm not talking dessert either. And I'm not talking, the carnivorous forest? No. The carnivore meat side of things.
Baked mac and cheese.
Baked mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Okay. Strong play from the Zephyr. Slay Dog?
I'm going to go my favorite side.
You're going to have like 2 or 3.
Yeah, there's no way I can have one. The sweet potatoes, the way Chris does them, she does them kind of like the sweet potatoes that they do at Rip Chris. Crispy and hard on the top with the
marshmallow
crumbles. No marshmallows.
No marshmallows.
No, this is like I forgot the crumble that she uses on it, but it's fine. The mac and cheese and greens.
Yeah.
Oh. But I also count cranberry sauce as a side out the can.
Out the can, gotta be out the can.
Yeah, and it's better be ocean spray too.
People try to do like, I want to do everything to the tent, to the tilt, and I'm going to get these fresh cranberries. No, dude, get like the 69-cent can
exactly,
and open it up with the old school old school can opener.
Yep,
and hear that sound when it comes out.
Yep, give me all that right there. Then you got to chop it on the lines.
Yeah.
Chop it on the lines. I walk around eating that.
Oh yeah.
Deviled eggs are another one. I really can't go wrong with Thanksgiving. Give me all the sides. Don't leave none of them out.
I usually like skip dessert and go back to the sides. My favorite side, do you remember what it is?
What?
Squash casserole.
I do remember that. Because I was like this.
Because that takes so much heat for that.
Yeah, I'm cool on that one, y'all.
I mean,
that and green beans, I'm passing up every time.
Squash casserole with the Ritz crackers like crumbled up with all the cheese in there. Hell yeah, dude.
You're all crazy.
My dad makes corn casserole.
Corn casserole? Why everything got to be a casserole?
I don't know, but it's
because
like,
you got to put Ritz crackers and cheese and everything.
No, man. You got to go get
there's
that.
no Ritz crackers and cheese and corn casserole.
Oh. Well, you're doing it wrong.
Dressing. I love cornbread dressing, too.
Cornbread dressing?
Yeah, from Cracker Barrel.
Oh.
Not necessarily the one from Cracker Barrel, but any cornbread dressing. It can't be too dry.
I can't remember. I either love stuffing or dressing. Which one do I love?
Both.
Yeah, I
don't
eating
remember.
stuffing. I'm not eating stuffing. I mean, give me
What's the
some
difference?
dressing.
I don't remember.
Stuffing is in the turkey, ain't it?
Yeah, stuffing.
I mean, you can do it that way.
No, I'm eating dressing. Dressing is made from cornbread.
Yeah, I think I like stuffing then.
Probably so.
Stuffing you can do like with sourdough, like
Probably
pinched
so.
it out and everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I like that.
No,
with tons of gravy.
Give me dress me up.
All right, that's our Thanksgiving talk for the day. If you want to let us know what you love, you can do it in the F&M Bank chat. What is your favorite?
The line just moved up to 40.5.
Yeah, because it's 11-3.
Yeah, I ain't betting that. That's too much, man. That's entirely.
But you're gaining 6 points on that, dude.
Yeah, but like, come on.
It only went up 2, but they're up by 8.
Yeah, but 40. That's a lot of points, dog.
That's a lot of points.
Like at some point,
who did they play last? Baylor?
Yeah.
Who only scored 42.
Yeah, that was
So there you go.
Then you back at home right here. This is interesting.
Tennessee scored more points in the second half against Baylor than Baylor had the entire game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, if you want to see some scoring, and nobody's seeing them nationally yet because they're not ranked, Lady Vols are cooking, dude.
They went crazy last night.
I cannot believe the difference year to year in that deal.
Yeah.
Because she changed the entire system.
That fast. Sometimes that's all it takes, a little flick of the wrist.
And they didn't have one of their best players out there last night in Jewel Spear.
Ah, yes, she
dealing
is
with
cool.
a lower leg injury.
They scored 102 last night. They've scored 100 or more in 3 of their 5 games. There's only 3 teams in America that have scored 100 points or more in 3 games so far.
Do I bet big right here?
You better get it now before they get back on the floor and it goes up to 45.
All right. What I'm saying.
615-737-1045.
Or do I wait for the weekend for football? That's what I was saying.
It'd give you something to do while we're sitting here.
All right, cool.
Yeah, you know.
Yep, that did it for me.
Something to do while we're sitting here on the show.
That's literally how I do it at home sometimes. I'm like, what am I going to do? I guess I'll watch this game. I might as well put $20 on it.
Yeah, that did it for me. That's all I needed.
By the way, how does Duke not go to what's his name in the last 2 shots?
Cooper Flag.
Flag.
They did good defense on that out of bounds play, though.
They did. He slipped on the last play. But
nipple, though, is.
How many times did I have to hear the word nipple during that broadcast?
Knipple.
It's not even spelled that way. And he had the ball in his hands all the time, so they talked about it all the time. Nipple.
Yeah, knipple. Yep.
Bad thing here. You want to watch the show live, YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitter, and Twitch?
Twitch, please.
Evan and Bake Chat is open. Throw out your best side dish. Mine is squash casserole, which I know
I need to hit on
pisses
this
a lot of people off. Tennessee Vandy coming up on Saturday.
Hey, Candy, it's Trash Talk Wednesday via Friday. You getting it today, y'all. I held back, but y'all getting it all day today. So, better call Zeph and let him hear from you.
Well, Eric is in Columbia, and he wants to talk to you.
Already.
Eric, what's up?
Hey, not much. Ron, I don't think you're very hyped, but I just want you to know that I love you, man, but your volunteers are trash, and Vanderbilt's fixed to hang 40 on y'all and do y'all just like we did Alabama.
Well, Eric, let me tell you this right here, Eric, and I mean this. You hear me? I know it's Thanksgiving, and I know we got love going all between us and everything, because I love y'all, y'all love us, but when we got to play, it's all hate, and this is the only thing I got to tell you. I can feel it when I walk, even when I talk, it takes over me. It's like candy. Hey, I'm telling y'all right now, we coming down to the West End. All that construction, y'all better put some yellow tape around it, because if you don't, it's going boom, blown up, because we hitting deep bombs, connected on receivers, Bico to Brew. And don't forget about the one I've been telling y'all, special teams, Boo Carter. He going to the house on y'all. Candy, y'all better come with. Hey, listen, great story. I'll pull for him. Y'all will be 500. Get y'all a bowl game. But this ain't what y'all want. This ain't what you want.
Oh, no, it is. It is, right? It is.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. Hey, Eric, you better get some more turkeys in the oven for this one, baby.
Hey, I tell you what, don't come down there thinking we're Arkansas.
Yeah, hey, guess what? We can't, because they had a number for us. But this right here is going to be a little bit different, Brand. We bringing a band with us, baby. I promise you that. And it's going to be flooded. 75-25. Vols versus...
You crazy.
You think it's going to be... You think y'all going to have more than 25% fans in them?
Yeah, actually I do.
No.
Because they go, man, he has turned Vanderbilt into something other than what it was back in the 2000s.
That's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. They all believe in, listen, I want to go to the game, even when they wasn't playing Tennessee. But how many people, what do you think the fan ratio going to be in now?
I'll give y'all 60.
You give us how many?
60%. I'll give y'all 60%.
Eric, 80-20.
I'm being honest. I give you 60.
Eric, every time we play Candy, you know what it is?
That's fine.
Do you know what it is, though?
I know what it is.
It's the same feeling I always seem to get around you. Yes, I do. It's like candy, baby. Bring all your Halloween candy. Put it right there in the end zone. We coming to eat.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it, brother.
But you know what? That's what I'm here for.
I love it.
Yeah.
Now, you're right about Clark Lee. Clark Lee said something yesterday that kind of resonated with me, and it's so true. He goes, I don't want this to be a one-shot deal. I want this to resonate with his program. He wants to have some continuance to it, and that's the key.
That's all it is.
Don't be a Diego Pavia comes in, you have your year, he leaves,
and then you go full flat.
And it's bad.
Yeah. Now you want to build on this year, going out of this year. So I'm also say, man, don't, like echoing what you said, don't put all the cards and all your money into this one game, y'all. You want to go back to your car and be able to pay the meter. You want to have some change left over. You do not want to go. I'm telling you, you do not want to leave that stadium and you don't bet all your money on it. You can't eat.
Nick says, Vandy, please save a piece of that goalpost for Slay.
Hell yeah. I'm going to take like a Laffy Taffy. That's what I'm going to be eating.
Vols taking care of business. Home game for the Tennessee, 75-25.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
Michelle, it ain't going to be pretty for Vanderbilt. Eric, sorry. Laura, go Vandy. Ben, Vols by 50. Vandy Man AD, let Big Slay talk big, because the crash will be even bigger when them Vols go down.
You're the reason why every time I get shy, real shy. What's happening, y'all? Big Slay coming to you, and I recently contacted We Grow Hair because, listen, I know what you thinking. Man, you look cool about it. See, you brush your hair? No, man, I'm talking about the top of the head. I'm 6'8", you can't see it. I can see it, so I became self-conscious about it. And when they're taking the camera angles and all that, I got to do something about it. I was looking at myself on Zone TV and all that, and I said, nope, not going to stand by and just watch this. No, sunroof is coming. Want to close it up. I went to PAI Medical. We Grow Hair. You can lose up to 50% of your hair before you even notice it. Do what I did. Call right now for your free evaluation. 615-376-6010. For almost 30 years, We Grow Hair has been Nashville's premier hair restoration medical clinic. We Grow Hair's FDA-approved laser hair therapy plus anagen therapy is going to restore your hair. They even have a trademark hair transplant procedure that gives you 3 times more hair in one procedure. Now, losing your hair? Fix it. Go to WeGrowHair.com. Call 615-376-6010. That's 615-376-6010. And guess what? Let them know Big Slade told you to go.
You're looking to save on internet and mobile this holiday season? Good news. Xfinity is having a Black Friday sale. Their best deals of the year are here. Learn how to get your choice of 5G phone on Xfinity. Plus, you can always get fast, reliable Xfinity internet with a line of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited for a great low price. So don't wait. Bring home a new 5G phone and get Wi-Fi speeds up to a gig on Xfinity Mobile. That's a big deal. Or should I say, that is a gig deal. Now through December 3rd, ask how to get your choice of free 5G phone with an unlimited plus line. Plus get 300 megabit Xfinity internet and an unlimited mobile line together for only $35 a month for 12 months with no annual contract. Go to Xfinity.com/Black Friday sale to learn more. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Equipment taxes and fees are extra after the promotion. Regular rates apply. Xfinity Mobile requires Xfinity internet. Gig speeds available via hotspots to Xfinity Mobile customers only. Reduced mobile speeds after use of monthly data included with your data option. Actual internet speeds and data thresholds may vary. 3HL 104.5 The Zone. Tennessee playing UT Martin in basketball. They were a 38.5-point favorite. They jump out 11-3, so it goes to 40.5.
Yeah.
So I talked Slay into taking it.
Yeah, that's.
I was like, you might as well. You're sitting here watching it.
I took something, but it wasn't that game. That's.
Oh, you didn't take this one?
No, I had to leave that alone. That's too many points, man. Yeah. And then when I turned it on, it was 41.5. Like, I mean, there's some sorry teams out there, but come on, man. And then that's UT Martin. That's little brother. That's up under the umbrella. That's under the Tennessee umbrella. We can't do them like that.
Did you enjoy playing these games?
What? Look forward to them. Because I'm always with
I know you get hyped for the big games, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you were Showtime defined.
But these are the ones.
But you can go out here and just stat it up.
Dog, 2 reasons. Stat feeling like you can get out of there early. The second one is you got to think it's a lot of people that not going to be able to afford to come to the Kentuckys, us versus Arkansas, us versus Florida. They're going to come to these games. Like, these tickets going to be cheap. You got to give them a show, y'all. You got to give them the same show. I may go exert more energy in a game like this than I would for Florida, Alabama, or Kentucky or something.
Coach Mac joins us thanks to our friends at Two Rivers Ford. Coach, are you surprised by this at all?
Ron Slay, try to watch one game without putting money on it.
Coach Mac, what's the fun in that, Coach Mac? I like to sweat. I like to sweat during games.
I mean, I tell you what, once January comes around, New Year's resolution, we're going to have to cut down on the parslays.
Hey, Mac, this is what I need to know. How you think the Mac Over America tour going to get sponsored, man, if I ain't out here betting?
Mac Over America.
Mac Over America tour's got plenty of fun. I don't want to take it out of the parslays.
Okay, all right.
I did think it's late today when I saw one of my Twitter follows, covers.com, and one of their guys, his best bet was Titans plus the 5.5 in Washington.
Ooh.
How badly is that team struggling, Washington? Because they hit the Hail Mary. If they don't hit that Hail Mary, they've lost 4 out of 5, Coach. They have lost 3 in a row. What's going on with them?
Yeah, they're not struggling as bad as people think. They just have not made plays in times that they've needed to. They started off very fast, too. And that's the other thing, too. You know, people have to learn that this 17-game stretch now that the National Football League has become, it is going to be a series of peaks and valleys. And it is the ultimate keep your powder dry when you're working through this. So they probably weren't as dominant as they were early on just because of the way things have fallen. And they're not as bad as people think they have gotten just because of the way things have fallen. It doesn't take but about 2 or 3 plays a game to flip the narrative completely on a team. And if you get that stacked a couple of weeks in a row, then everybody else starts being Chicken Little and the sky's falling. This is a good football team. That quarterback is special, and you don't want him to get hot on you. I promise you that. Right,
because he's due. I mean, if you look the last couple of games, 3 interceptions, 3 touchdowns, and he's been sacked 7 times. You've coordinated a lot of defenses in your years in the NFL. What do you do with a guy like this?
First of all, you've got to be very, very, very disciplined in your rush. Because if you're going to rush 4 and cover with 7, which you're going to have to do quite a bit of, it goes without saying that Denard's going to work his coverage around so that the guy's not going to have a clean picture. But if you are ultimately rushing with 4, depending on which 4 you deploy to rush with, you're going to have some semblance of a cage rush on him, because if you're rushing with 4, there are 5 gaps up there. This dude can find one inside or outside, and on the move, he is dangerous. And he's very instinctive on the move. He's accurate on the move, and plus he's got enough Houdini in him that if you've got one guy chasing him, he usually evades that one person. That's going to be critical.
Eyeball test, just watching in real time, it looked like the Titans did a good job of staying disciplined in their rush lanes against C.J. Stroud. Am I off base there?
No, you did. You're right, but let's go. The precursor to that was, Brent, is they played really good run defense. They played excellent run defense against Joe Mixon, and that was an emphasis all week going into that ball game, because without that play-action threat, when you are not in that 50-50 strut as a defensive player and you can play towards your strength as to what you know is getting ready to happen because you shut off the run game and you put the chains in your favor, that helps you in your pressure packages. And then as you get towards the end of the ball game, then you can just cut it loose like they did when they finally ran him out of the back of the end zone. But that whole thing started with shutting that running game down very, very early, and then they continued it throughout the ball game as to where it did not become a threat.
14 carries, 22 yards for Joe Mixon, who had just had more than 103 touchdowns against Dallas. Had one called back, too. Could have had 4. But they did a great job defensively in that game. And what about Big T Sweat? Finally getting through on that sack. And, man, you go back and watch the All-22. He was getting double-teamed. He got double-teamed on that one play. He picked up like a 320-pound guy, Coach Mack, and threw him into the backfield and then made the play.
Well, look, first of all, that's why he's here. And he knows that his life, when he came into the National Football League, you're playing that shade, you are going to get double-teamed. Now, what you have to do is you have to learn how to attack a double team, which he's learning how to do. And plus, I mean, you still got a very athletic, massive human being that is very, very focused on what he is doing. And you can see that the pluses to it is it's freed Big Jeff up a lot to be one-on-one. And if Big Jeff's one-on-one, he's going to win most of those. And so that complementary piece of it is fitting together very nice. But Big Sweat, I mean, that's the life that he's going to lead as long as he's in the National Football League. He has to get very, very adept at being able to defeat it. And you defeat double teams differently with each team because you've got to pick the guy that you're going to work on and let the other one try to follow you.
Coach Mack, it's a guy out there, man, that I've been fond of since watching him in the preseason, watching him in training camp. It was just a guy that's no back down, and I think that fits with Donald Wilson's defense. When you look at a guy like Jarvis Brownlee, man, what about the strides he's made, man?
He just starts laughing.
Well, first of all, it's not surprising, right?
Yeah.
I mean, any of us that followed him, I know his secondary coach at Louisville very well. He sits with me at the combine. And of course, look, this kid's background, you knew where he was, what he came from, but you sit and talk with his collegiate coach who's recruited a lot of these guys. I got great respect for his eye for talent when he goes out and looks for these guys to bring into Louisville, whether he's looking for the transfer portal or whether he's looking for a pure high school kid to bring in. Is that this guy's got zero quit in him, and plus he's got zero fear in him.
Yeah.
And when you say zero fear in him, that piece of it you can't manufacture. That has to be in you. It's either in you or it's not. And he's got it in him. And look, he's going to get beat. He got beat in that game. I mean, he got beat in that game, but you know what he did? He continues to come back. I really like this player, but I think, and I haven't seen it yet. Mike Keith and Robbie Bourne, I think, were talking on the sideline today when we were watching practice. They do a segment where they mic a player up for a ball game. I haven't been able to see it, but they have it on him, and I think it probably gets down pretty much to the essence of what he is during the ball game. I really like this. I like this player. I like this player a lot because he gets what it takes to play, especially out there in that position, and he's only going to get better. Look, that secondary to me, they were playing with dudes that hadn't even been together. Some hadn't even been here, for very long, and then all of a sudden they have to start as a unit against the division leader away from home at their place down there. They did a tremendous job, and major kudos to the personnel department, major kudos to the coaching staff, and just major props to those players for what they pulled off.
Absolutely, man. We talked about it when he came in, man. And before the season started, I was like, man, one person y'all need to go on and re-up. Y'all need to go on and re-sign him right now. And I know it's rules and things like that. You can't do it, but y'all need to sign Brownlee to a long extended contract. Because this dude here, man, this dude is different.
All right, Ron, you can't do that, and you can't use your par slave money to give him NIL money.
Because that was next, Coach Mack.
That's off the table for a while, Ron. Go ahead.
That was coming next. All right, look, we've been able to talk about growth in Will Levis and watching what he's doing, but outside of that, I want to talk about what we're seeing in the division. Along with those quarterbacks, because you see what C.J. Stroud, he seems to not been come to a stop, but slowed down. The governor kind of kicked in for him, where you got to slow down and process things differently. And it's another year with tape is out. Anthony Richardson, the same thing. Trevor Lawrence has gotten kind of quiet down there. But Will Levis, if you look at it, is the one right now in the last 2 or 3 games has the bubbling talk about. Where does the future of this quarterback division lie?
Well, I mean, and I think all of them are going through. First of all, you're talking about young quarterbacks.
Right.
Trevor Lawrence is the veteran of this whole group, and he's already gotten his money, but he's been hurt.
Yep.
All right, so that has to come into play. I mean, you have to be realistic, whether it's your player or it's an opponent. You have to know that when they're hurt, they're not going to be exactly what they were. Now, he was struggling a little bit before that happened, but once you get that big paycheck, that comes with big expectations. And if you perform just a little below the line, then you're going to start hearing about it. Now, the other three are really young players. They are really young players. And so there is going to be, there are peaks and valleys for every position in the National Football League, but it's especially evident and very clear for quarterbacks in this league. There are peaks and valleys until they learn how to.
Right.
And you'll relate to this, Ron, in your professional career, learn how to, in the middle of chaos and in the middle of really hot competition, slowing your heartbeat down.
Yep.
Slowing your heartbeat down and being able to get within yourself and then be able to get within the game and not chase the game and have the game come to you. And so that's what you're going to see with young players, especially young quarterbacks in this league. I think that's where we are with all three of those young quarterbacks right now.
Yeah. And that's, I think, man, to the naked eye, to fans, that language that you're talking, slow your heart rate down, that's the same thing you're talking about when you're talking to a player and you're playing the game or you're coaching or you're developing or whatever, teaching. It's one of those phrases that you use when you tell them, man, the game will slow down for you. And that's what you're meaning in it. Yep. Absolutely.
It will. I mean, I just experienced it all of my years of coaching, and with all different personality types of players. But sooner or later, they find that mark, and there has to be times within the game, or there can be moments, that all of a sudden they see, oh, I get this, I understand it now.
Right.
I mean, I think you could probably tell us, not within the exact day or the minute, but the time that the game started to slow down for you a little bit.
Absolutely.
You're still playing fast. There's a difference between playing fast and playing in a hurry.
Yep.
There's a big difference in that in the professional sports.
And I can do it on all three levels, high school, college, and pro. I can tell you exactly when it happened for me, Coach Mack.
For sure you can. Yep. If you've ever competed or you've coached, at a high level, and you can see athletes go through that transformation, and everybody is on their own timeline in that instance.
Right.
Coach Mack, presented by Two Rivers Ford. Coach, thank you for the time. Happy Thanksgiving this week, and let's go Titans this weekend.
Guys, happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys there. Appreciate you. See you.
All right, Coach Mack.
Coach Mack. Titans at Washington. What do you think about that? Best bet from a guy. Titans plus the 5.5. They haven't won back-to-back games since October of 22.
No, and I'm gonna tell you, the way they're playing, if they could clean up some of the mistakes, I'm all for it. The only thing that scares me is when you have these bets on and you're watching teams work with short fields, man. And that's been a thorn in the side of us, man. Them being able to return the ball on the other side of the field, even on kickoffs, punt returns, no matter what it is. Like, it's always something with the special teams to give them an added bonus. And if we could take that out of the game, you can take that out of the game along with how people are progressing, whether it be Will Levis, whether it be this offensive line, whether it be the receivers starting to get the connection, whether it be the defense not giving up chunk plays. I'm all good. I'm all good with that. And I think Washington is one of those teams they haven't had a lull in the season. So it just so happened to be coming right now. Hopefully we can take advantage of it. I like that. I would take it.
Plus they have a bye after this game.
I'm taking them 5.5.
615-737-1045. Coming up at 4 o'clock, former Titans Pro Bowler Marc Mariani will join us. He'll have his blood in the water pick. His Montana Grizzlies hosting TSU in the first round of the FCS playoffs. Speaking of TSU, we'll go back-to-back with that game. TSU football coach Eddie George, coach of the year in the conference.
Man,
will join us at 4:20 to talk about that game and, building the program, having never been a head coach.
I love this. I can't wait to hear this conversation.
4:45, Josh Ward.
Boom, boom room.
Co-host of Josh and Swain. Hell yeah.
We ain't never been in the boom, boom room either.
We hadn't done that in a while.
We ain't had no guests. We ready now.
we're busy.
Yeah, we've been getting to it. Look at Minivan out there acting all crazy.
I actually wondered if Minivan would work today because
he went in early.
The CEO of our company gave everybody Wednesday off 3 weeks ago, out of nowhere.
Yep.
And so, I came in downstairs. There's not one person downstairs.
Really?
Tumbleweed.
Not even Hunter?
No.
Hunter's usually always there. Can't run Hunter out the building.
Hunter and Lori and nope.
Wow. Well, we here.
Just tumbleweed.
I'm going to go down there and sit at their desk.
Should we go do the show from downstairs?
I would love to do that.
Just take like random pictures at people's desks and send them to them.
Yeah. Like we working. Yeah,
we got
Let's
you.
do that.
We got you.
We'll do that.
5:20, Greg Cosell, NFL matchup and NFL films. Oh, I forgot, 5 o'clock, Todd Fuhrman, Bet the Board podcast.
Todd Father.
All right, you want to talk some more Tennessee Vandy?
Candy? Yes.
615-737-1045. Caleb in Lebanon. Caleb, what's up?
Yo, Slay Dog.
What's up, Caleb?
What's up, man? That quarterback from Vanderbilt. What's his name again?
I think they call him Diego Pavia.
They call him.
Okay. I read something the other day that he was filing a restraining order versus the NCAA. Is that correct?
Was he?
He filed something because he wanted an extra year.
Yeah, that's what. Yup.
And
Well, while he was there, somebody should have told him he needs to go ahead and file one versus James Pierce Jr.
Come on,
because that
Caleb.
defense is coming to the Capitol this weekend
Come on,
to
Caleb.
assault that man.
Come on, Caleb.
Final score, Tennessee 49, Vandy 3. They don't score one touchdown. I'm hanging up. Y'all have a good one.
Buck 'em, Dano. Yeah. You heard, Caleb. Like that.
all right, Caleb.
I like, man, that's how you get out here, call your shot. Trash talk Wednesday is in full effect. Candy, you on the line. Call. Y'all know the number. You been knowing the number.
They got upset about, and it came back up this week.
What?
They got upset about, they were saying that Tennessee was hitting A.J. Swan late last year.
Oh.
So then Diego Pavia was asked about getting hit late. It was kind of a weird question if you don't have the reference to where it was coming from, but from where it was coming. But this is I haven't heard this. This is what
I
he
ain't
said.
heard none of it.
You mentioned the fight broke out last year. That was because they were, they had some late hits on AJ Swan.
There you go.
Expecting that again? Is there a way to prepare for that?
Yeah, I always expect people to come in with trying to get me late or something like that. But I got the bulldog mentality. Is I don't care what they do. I'll be here for it.
Respect that.
Don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's funny, like we're trash talking and all this stuff, but then think about and hear what Diego Pavia says and what he stands for and what he is. Man, he's the kind of guy you would love to have on your team.
Dude, if you're not coming into it with that mindset, you about to put your team, you're gonna take a step back. Like you're going to hurt your team. Situation for me. My whole thing was, this is what John Higgins used to tell me all the time. This was after I got into an advanced role, playing more minutes and
Former
things like
teammate
that.
of yours at Tennessee.
At Tennessee, where I'm playing. So I'm big on trash talking. I always say it every time. Freshman, sophomore year, I could talk, exert energy that I knew I wasn't going to need later on in the game because I was coming off the bench. My role increased as a junior going into the starting role, and Higgs used to tell me, hey, dog, don't let them get to you, man. Because they trying to get to you to get to talking to them,
to
get out
waste
our
your
game
energy.
plan. Yeah, he was like, wait till we get up or do it. You got to do it differently. I was like, no, dog, I'm do it like I want to do it. But the thing is, he was right. You got to be able to pick your moments and understand that it's people coming off the bench, the 6th, 7th man, 8th man, or in football, whoever's subbing in at that time that's coming in to get a hit on you or talk to you, whatever it is to get you out of your game. You are the focal point of Vanderbilt football. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to be on it.
I think a few things. Who's the OC? Tim Beck? Is that his name from New Mexico State? I think 3 things have made them this year is Jerry Kill, Tim Beck, and number 1, Diego Pavia.
No question.
And the team follows him.
Yes.
And his toughness and part of me wonders, and I haven't asked over there or anything. Like this is an honest question, just flippantly out of my head right now. But when he tried to get that extra year, I wonder had he gotten it if he would have shut it down, knowing he had one more year. And now he's playing through a bunch of stuff to get through the year because it means so much to him.
Right.
I don't know.
I would think at some point in a game, who did they played somebody that wasn't an SEC opponent. I thought he would have shut it down going into that game.
Well, we had heard that they wanted to get to halftime. That was Ball State.
And
they were locked in a battle, so he had to play the entire game.
See, it would have been one of those situations that you shut it down because you know what you got going forward, and you expect your team to be able to handle that, and I think they would have. But in this situation, last game, going in it, man, this a rival. You know what the record is. Like, you want to go out on top. This is just as big, probably beating Alabama, taking Texas to the onside kick point. Like, it's a big game.
615-737-1045. Tennessee basketball up by 11. So
Told you.
maybe smart not taking that 40 and a half.
They're going to score a lot of points, though.
At some point, they'll get going, though. It's just kind of
Pass. Oh, what? Woo! Kane Phillips, baby.
More phone calls next. Reese and Laura on hold as well. 615-737-1045.
What's happening, y'all? Big Slate coming to you, and I recently contacted We Grow Hair because, listen, I know what you're thinking. Man, you look cool about it. See, you brush your hair? No, man, I'm talking about the top of the head. I'm 6'8", you can't see it. I can see it, so I became self-conscious about it. And when they're taking the camera angles and all that, I got to do something about it. I was looking at myself on Zone TV and all that, and I said, nope, not going to stand by and just watch this. No, sunroof is coming. Want to close it up. Went to PAI Medical. We grow hair. You can lose up to 50% of your hair before you even notice it. Do what I did. Call right now for your free evaluation. 615-376-6010. For almost 30 years, We Grow Hair has been Nashville's premier hair restoration medical clinic. We Grow Hair's FDA-approved laser hair therapy plus anagen therapy is going to restore your hair. They even have a trademarked hair transplant procedure that gives you 3 times more hair in one procedure. Now, losing your hair? Fix it. Go to WeGrowHair.com. Call 615-376-6010. That's 615-376-6010. And guess what? Let them know Big Slade told you to go.
It is gift giving time, guys, and the woman in your life will love this unique and thoughtful gift over the holidays. Always in style, always fits, always appreciated. That would be a Moment's Peace salon and day spa. Choose your budget, whether you want to spend a little or go lavish. And then she can choose from 10 different services all under one roof at a Moment's Peace salon and day spa. I'm talking massages, manicures, pedicures, sunless tanning, waxing, skincare, facials. There's a hair salon there. They do makeup and they have awesome gifts in their lobby as well. Here's the deal. A Moment's Peace salon and day spa wants to make it super easy for you. Their gift cards can be printed directly from their website, or they can wrap them up and make them look beautiful, pair it with another gift like a robe, candle, all sorts of fun stuff from their gift boutique. And it is so easy. Everybody loves spa gifts. The woman in your life loves a spa gift. Gift cards available 24/7, amomentspeace.com. Call them at 615-224-0770. You have special requests? Stop by. They're in Cool Springs across Interstate 65 from Galleria Mall, intersection of Carruthers Parkway and Bakersbridge Avenue. That's a Moment's Peace salon and day spa.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all. Tennessee up by 15 at halftime over UT Martin. Keep you updated. Tennessee Vandy. Vols have won 5 in a row. Before that, Vandy had won 5 out of 7.
Okay.
Before that, Tennessee had won 28 out of 29.
Okay.
So in the last 41, Tennessee 35, Vanderbilt 6.
Well,
in the last 48, Tennessee 41, Vanderbilt 7 in the last 48 games. However, Slay Dog.
Yeah.
In the last 3, in the last 6 in Nashville, 3-3.
Don't surprise me at all. From what Vandy has been at, and to where we have been. I think both. This is the thing. I think both schools are in 2 different. Both programs are in 2 different places with head coaches that are leading them. Both trajectory shooting up. Now, I think a lot of that is a stronghold on the mentality that Tennessee has when playing Vandy. If you're a player, you walking in this game, you throwing them records out. You have to literally show them every single time why you are who you are supposed to be. And Vandy, vice versa. Every single time, it doesn't matter if they lost 100 in a row. Vandy wants to come out and show them why they're going to win this one, and everything is changing. So you got those 2 that meet, plus you heighten everything up with, you got the playoffs going on, you got what type of bowl game they're going to get. They trying to be over 500 in the SEC. Like, it's a lot of stuff at stake for both teams. That's why I want the fans to understand when y'all calling in, like, nobody cares what we talking about. This is for us.
Oh, yeah,
like,
we're just having fun.
Players could give a damn about what we talking about. They got to get out there and get to it. But us, we going to have a ball. And I'm going to take all my candy wrappers and recycle them after. Because I know y'all got some nice recycling bins over there on West End. I'm going to put all them in the right trash cans.
It's going to be a lot of orange in that stadium. And, I think back to, this is a unique situation in that Tennessee, with a win, clearly in the playoff.
Yes.
And if a couple of things fall right, could host a game in Neyland Stadium.
Right.
And as I keep saying, college football is on crack, so weird things happen. So that's what's on the line for Tennessee. For Vanderbilt to get to 7 wins, that is a much better bowl game than a 6-win bowl game, right? Plus the whole Tennessee thing. And this is a different Vanderbilt team. They will hit you in the mouth. They will play physical football.
Absolutely.
They're not going to back down.
Absolutely.
So all I can think about is, I know during Buck Show they brought up 2016 when Tennessee was trying to get in the Sugar Bowl with a win. I think with what's on the line, with the playoffs on the line, I think it goes deeper than that. So I go back to 98 when Tennessee was undefeated and knew that they needed Texas A&M to beat Kansas State for them to get in. They needed a couple of things to happen too. But they needed to take care of business against Vanderbilt. So maybe a stretch to say similar, but getting into the playoff means you get a chance to go play for a national title. Yeah. So it's kind of similar in that deal. And Tennessee blew the crap out of them that day.
See, I'm going to give you one even more recent that this bunch has been a part of.
41-0 was the final.
Okay. This bunch was a part of the 2022, having everything in their grasp. I mean, and you went down to South Carolina. Now, granted, Hendon Hooker got hurt, but y'all were playing like trash. Now, disregard anything that we're going to throw out, that anything of the signal call in, still in, whatever all that is, all that's water in the bridge, what Michigan had going on, and the ties to it and whatever. But you had the taste. You knew what it was like. You had your plate in front of you. You was about to get served your food, and you fumbled. There are players still on this team that would be dying to get that chance back. That chance lies right there before them with a trip down right there at West End. And we were asking questions then about culture, what's their bounce back like, who's in control of the locker room. All of those guys that were juniors seniors now. Some redshirt seniors. I think it's different now, with this bunch, man, that's all I'm saying. Like, Vandy got stuff to fight for. But, Candy got stuff to fight for. But Tennessee got a lot of stuff on the line, too. And it can be controlled not only to me by having to hit the deep ball and stuff like that, but you got an offensive line that's veteran-laden, and you got a guy back there running the rock that's been disrespected.
How is he not on the Doak
Come on, man. That's
He's number one in the SEC in every rushing category.
That's just dumb. That's just dumb.
It's unreal.
That's like saying, all right, when the SEC awards come out and SEC, I don't even know if they have this, SEC Newcomer of the Year, if Diego Pavia is not in that conversation or running away with it, something is wrong. Like you don't have the guy leading in every single category in the toughest conference in the land. And you don't have him on there. That's bogus. So, for me, that's fueling me.
Genty's going to win it, but he should have been one of the three. I mean,
no question. No, ain't nobody questioning that.
And all athletes are looking for that one thing. This is a pretty big thing.
Dude,
pretty
I want
big
that.
chip.
That's all I need. I'm telling you right now, going into the Georgia game, my senior year, I remember in the preseason, I was left out of SEC player of the first team SEC player. First team SEC player. First team all SEC. Dog. And one of the people that was interviewed was Jim Herrick, the coach for Georgia. And this was in August. We played them in January. The entire game. If they play zone, first of all, they won't play me one-on-one. But the entire game, I told them it's 3 straight shots that went in from the logo. Not the E, the second E in Tennessee. Letting it fly. And I told Jim Herrick every time, this is your fault.
Every time you went by
he named the list, and he said, man, we got another one too, Ron Slade. Like, he should be on the list, but these are my 5. That mean I wasn't on the list.
Yeah.
Every time I shot it, this is your fault. And they had a squad. Like, Jarvis Hayes, Ezra Williams, Rashad Wright, went deep in the tournament. Dog, told him every time, this your fault. Look at his players. Ezra and them, y'all blame y'all coach. Shouldn't have never left me off. Shouldn't have never left me. Dylan Sampson, I expect you to do something.
I love that story. Adam, who is a Bama fan, right? Vandy ain't scoring on Tennessee's defense.
And Adam, okay, Adam, you're shooting right down the lane, man. I like that.
Third down defense, Tennessee, number 1 in the SEC, number 5 in America. Total defense, number 2 in the SEC, number 6 in America. Scoring defense, number 2 in the SEC, number 4 in America. Tackles for loss, number 3 in the SEC, number 6 in America. That's the Tennessee defense.
I ain't going to say they ain't going to score because I think they can score once because of the trickery that they use with that options.
They'll have a game plan. You got to survive that script part. You got to survive that script part.
You took it right up there. That's all I'm saying.
Right there.
That's it. Part over for me.
Clark Lee on the Tennessee rivalry, quote, "The unique thing about this game is that it's extremely personal to me. I grew up in this city. I grew up following this program. I played in this program. The meaning of this game cuts deep to us. Maybe that's a little old school, but that stuff still matters to me."
Hell yeah, that's exactly what it matters. Yeah. And guess who else that matter for everyone? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, newsflash. Everybody that's from Tennessee that plays for Tennessee. I said the same thing. When I'm coming down to Memorial Gym, you better believe this means more to me. I told them we not losing this.
Arian Carter.
Man, what?
Boo Carter.
Come on, man. If you in the man, I ain't even talking. What we talking about?
Let Jackson Lampley in there, see what he does.
Come on, dog. What we talking about, man? This is bragging rights. I got to see these people all summer. Come on, dog.
All right, more 3HL. When we come back, former Titans Pro Bowler Marc Mariani joins us next. 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
You can get in the game with Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville. We just got a brand new door installed on our patio out to our backyard from Pella this morning, and they were phenomenal. Now, we already knew they were phenomenal because they replaced some of our windows in our home, but our door had started to rust, so we added a new door as well, and they showed up a little bit early. They did a phenomenal job. The new door is absolutely gorgeous. months, and we are now ready for winter because it is sealed way better than our old door ever thought about being. And it looks way better. It is beautiful. And if you are in need of new doors and or windows, Pella Windows and Doors of Nashville, who you need to call. I've had a wonderful experience with them, and I know you will have the same. They have an offer for you, 50% off qualifying installations and no money down, no interest, no payments for 12 full months. 615-249-1910 is your phone number, or you can easily schedule your free consultation. Check out that special offer I mentioned. Tell them Dawn sent you. Just go online, PellaNashville.com.
Good afternoon. It is 4:02. I'm Joseph Bonanno live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Titans back on the practice field today as they get set to head to Landover, Maryland to face the Commanders on Sunday. No sign of Calvin Ridley, Roger McCreary, or Arden Key during the open portion of Titans practice. Leroy Watson, Harold Landry, Jeff Simmons, Jalen Duncan all reportedly worked on a side field. Head coach Brian Callahan did speak with the media earlier today and described what they would be facing in star rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels.
He's so poised in the pocket. He doesn't get rattled. He moves around well. He finds lanes. He knows when and where to run, and he's also very quick with the draw, knows when to run, knows how to get out of bounds and get down. He's sort of the driver of their run game and their pass game.
Number 7, Tennessee basketball currently facing UT Martin in Knoxville. Tennessee holds a 20-point lead, 40-20, as the second half just got underway, just under 18 and a half minutes to go in Knoxville. For your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Balls. This is 104.5 The Zone.
HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. We're so thankful for y'all, man, putting up with us every day.
Absolutely. This will be a good time. That's what we're here to do.
Hope you have a great Thursday. We'll be back at it on Monday.
Get full, people.
Might as well.
Yeah, why not? It's going to be food.
Tennessee leading UT Martin 40-20 now.
They might get to that 38 at this rate.
Well, I mean, you're going to bring in bench guys at some point that are going to want to do what you were talking about earlier, wanting to stuff the stat sheet.
That's how you know you got a different ball game. It's a gentleman's rule in basketball. When you sub,
they sub.
When
they sub, you sub.
No, but this, yes, that's one of them too. But then this one, UT Martin did a platoon sub and brought 5 new guys in. And sometimes they'll tell the ref, like, we just called the timeout just to sub and like to run it. And Tennessee players were about to walk to the bench. And it looked like they made them walk to the bench. So anyway, but, when it gets late in games, instead of calling timeout, they're just trying to get some guys in that never played.
I had never really thought about that because I'm not about, I love basketball, but I didn't grow up in that coaching that world and all that stuff. But a high school basketball coach got upset one time when he subbed and they did.
Really?
And told me about that after the game. That's interesting. And I was like, okay, I didn't even think about it.
Right.
He was like, oh, yeah,
that's me calling the dogs off.
Yeah. And so I do it, you do it.
Yep.
He goes, it's fine. We'll still play, but that's not how we do things.
Yeah, just know when it come down to it. If I get a chance to beat your head in, I'm going to beat your head in.
Ron Slay is here. We'll get to the intro in just a little bit. Marc Mariani joins us now. Have no idea where Moonshine is. Where are you, Moonshine? You've been all over the contiguous 48.
Hey, man. I'm celebrating in the warm, balmy east coast of Florida, baby. Cocoa Beach, Florida.
Oh, nice.
Between my toes. I got freaking sunscreen all over me. It's majestic.
Well, I know it didn't go the way that you wanted against Montana State, but you are in the playoffs. What are your thoughts on Montana hosting Eddie George, who's coming up after you on the show, and Montana?
Oh, my gosh. Hey, listen, man. If it's anybody going up there that I'd like to see have a good showing, it's Eddie and the boys and my boy Brandon Fisher, who's the defensive coordinator.
Yes.
So, I mean, dude, I'm getting pulled from both, a lot of magnetic fields on this one. But, I mean, you know what? I've been watching the FCS playoffs play out for decades now. Yeah. And so now the FBS boys have 12. Well, anything can happen once you're in. The Grizz have stumbled, man. We have lost games we shouldn't have this year. We got absolutely throttled by our rivals last week. I mean, that'll be the last time I talk about it until we kick off again next year. But no, now we're in, man. Now you're in the playoffs. Records don't matter. They got to come into our house. I'm so happy for Eddie and the boys, though. Eddie George, I think, just won conference coach of the year. And that's big time, man. That program, I've got to kind of see it from when those guys took over, and man, have they turned that thing around. I mean, you got a HBCU out there grinding and making it to the playoffs and winning the conference. I mean, it's phenomenal, man. So I love what they got going on. I hated to see them draw the Grizz, but man, I hope they have a good showing, and we'll see what happens down the stretch.
Moonshine, man, we got to ask you this. We had the opportunity to watch our hype video leading into it, man, and you did a phenomenal job.
We played it on the show.
Yeah, but I felt, when they dropped the music, like, I felt Moonshine was ready to – that's when you go into Moonshine and you get hype with it. Man. It was like they told you, no, just stay calm in it. Stay calm in it.
Listen, I've done a few things out in my media days, but I haven't done anything like that. But what I will say is they sent me a little template, of what they wanted me to say, and I read it, and it was like, that ain't the way I say that. I had to put I had to take a couple double shots of espresso like I did and put a little flair on it, but
it sounded great.
It sounded great.
We just know you too well. You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, man. I was recording that in a quiet little condo. I was like, man, I'm going to wake up the whole HOA in this thing. So, but that was a lot of fun. And I got to be honest, man, there's some big rivalry games this weekend in college football. But what we got going on at Montana versus Montana State, Brawl the Wild, it's pretty special, man. What's cool about it is that we don't have professional sports, man. We don't have professional sports. So this is what we live for. And it's truly the Continental Divide where you're on one side of the mountains, and whatever passion or whatever opinion you have, the water truly does flow one way or the other when you get on one side of the Continental Divide. So anyway, it's a pretty sweet thing, and I'm bummed that they whipped us, but we'll get them back.
Former Titans Pro Bowler Marc Mariani joins us. Blood in the water pick did not go well last time out. We missed you last week, but Tennessee fell at Georgia. What do you?
Tennessee fell.
What do you?
Well, here's the deal, man. There's never going to be a time where I don't ride with the boys. So if they're and I just saw a few of the predictions. I mean, here's the deal: the mayhem that broke loose 4 days ago on college football Saturday was absolutely beautiful. If you're a Vols fan, so it don't even matter. And here's the other thing: if we play Georgia again, if we kick them off again, I'm still going to hammer that money line, baby. I saw some of the predictions. I hope we end up on the other side of the bracket so that the SEC can represent. We don't have to bang up on each other again, but we'll see how it shakes out. But man, the Vols didn't pull it off down in Athens, and I was feeling pretty confident about that matchup, Slay. I know you weren't there that day, but I was pretty mouthy about it. I think I took them to win somewhere in the 18 to 22 range or something like that.
Yeah, he went all in.
I like that move.
The two of y'all together while Mariani was going hype. Oh,
yeah, that would have done
it. Oh, dude. Oh gosh, Slay. I told Brent. I knew you weren't going to be there. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, I got to bring a little extra juice today. And then I had to do a little self-talk and look in the mirror and go, no one can do what Slay Dog does, the Slay Thomas. I'm like, I could turn it up a notch, but nobody can fill those shoes. So we tried to hold it down for you.
Man, I appreciate it, man.
All right, so the Blood in the Water pick, if you're new to this, is a team that's an underdog winning outright. So an upset outright winner. And that's the goal every week for Marc Mariani. We've got to play your song for the Tennessee Georgia pick.
Oh, all right.
Hey. But
get out of here, man.
But here's where our confidence level lies with you. Switch it up. We're so confident in this week's pick, Marc.
Let's go, Moonshine.
About to get in another run. Let's go, Marc. What do you got?
Hunting, baby. Hey, listen. We're hunting. We still got house money. We're feeling confident. The boys are there, and guess what? It is Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for 104.5. I'm thankful for 3HL, for Ron Slay and Brent Doherty. Here's the deal. Guess who else I'm thankful for?
Who, Marc?
I'm thankful for Tony Pollard. I'm thankful for Kenneth Murray. I'm thankful for Calvin Ridley and Will Levis and the boys. And here's the deal. We started off on a cold streak with the Tennessee Titans. A cold streak to start the year. But here's the deal. We're going back to the well, baby. We're going to the well. 5.5 points in Washington. We don't want them. We do not want them, baby. The boys, hey, listen, I'm going to be drinking a lot of brown water, a lot of red beers, and here's what else I'm going to be drinking. A lot of two-tone blue Kool-Aid, baby. I drank the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
In the last 3 weeks, man, hey, here's a couple things I got. Tony Pollard, thank you on Thanksgiving. You're the most consistent offensive player we have all year. He comes in, grinds nonstop. Kenneth Murray, absolute savage, playing with speed, killing people. And here's the deal. I think a couple things are happening out there. One, I actually saw a lot of bad plays from MPF, but I actually saw him make a huge block on the edge and then get up and get into somebody's face, Slay.
Oh.
He got up.
I saw that on the sideline. Yeah,
Sure did.
I forgot about that.
He sure did.
Yep.
Yes, and Brent, have we not been asking for that all year? Just something.
Get nasty.
So anyway, and here's the deal. We always know that Will Levis has the tangibles. We always know he's got every tool in the toolbox. I think Callahan, well, besides the 18,000 sacks, I think Callie is helping him, putting him in better situations, things that he only does well. And I think down the stretch, you're just going to keep throwing him into the fire. This is the best case scenario.
Yep.
And the boys, Javondre Sweat and frickin' Jeff Simmons in the middle, man. The Washington Commanders are going to have a long day with the boys. So hammer that 210, baby. You don't want the 5.5. Happy Thanksgiving to the boys. I love you guys, man.
Did you happen to run into Tony Pollard and ask him if he wanted the 5.5?
Oh, dude, we had coffee this morning down here in Cocoa Beach. And I told him, I sat across from him. I said, hey, bro, thank you for all you do. You've been the best blessing on offense all year. But you know what they're doing? They're giving you 5.5. And you know what he told me? He told me, we don't want them, baby. We're going to go to Washington and dominate those Commanders, baby.
I love it.
Mark, have fun at the beach, man. Thanks for making time for us. We're very thankful for you and love you, brother.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and the fam, dog.
Hey, guess what? It's 5 o'clock where I'm at. So,
turn up. I'm jealous.
We'll see you boys later.
There he is, Marc Mariani. All right, when we come back, we'll get the other side of that little TSU Montana matchup. TSU head football coach and legend. Eddie George next, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
Hey, listen, you can throw the spreads out the window because you never know what's going to happen during rivalry week. That'll make betting on the games fun, right? Well, you need to jump in on Zen Sports if you haven't already. And it actually is not too early to be thinking about the big game, too, because this month, Zen Sports, the newest sports book here in Tennessee, has launched a brand new sweepstakes for all its Tennessee customers. The Big Game Sweepstakes is what it's called. You can win a grand prize of 2 tickets to Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans or $10,000 cash. They're also going to award 50 additional prizes, which includes 2 tickets to any Tennessee sporting event or $100 cash. Get in on the action. Earn multiple entries every day by betting on the Zen Sports app. Every bet you get an entry. Every dollar you bet, you earn an additional entry. You like parlays, you earn double the entries on every parlay place. Start betting with Zen Sports. Download their app today. Zen Sports, where betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Qualifying wager for wager entry must have minimum odds for any leg of the entry at least minus 250 or worse American odds. For clarity, a wager at minus 251 odds does not qualify. Head to zensports.com/sweepstakes for terms and conditions. You must be 21 and older and in Tennessee to bet.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you. Ron Slay is here.
Hey.
Slay, are you feeling good?
Feeling great. Tony the Tiger voice.
I mean, speaking of the Tigers, let's go to the head Tiger. Eddie George joins us now. EG, what's up, man? How are you?
What's up, fellas? Happy holidays, man. Happy Thanksgiving and all that good stuff. How you guys doing?
Same to you, brother. Ready to eat.
What is the what? Hey,
are you frying your turkey or are you getting it out?
No, definitely deep fried, baby.
Yeah, there you go. There's only one way.
Only one way. That's right. Yeah.
That's it.
So I'm curious, with a trip coming up to Montana, what does this look like? When are you guys leaving? How are you all doing Thanksgiving as a football family? How's this going to go down?
Great question, Brent. I am actually going to have dinner tonight with my family. So as soon as I leave here for practice, I'm going to go home. I'm going to deep fry my turkeys. It's going to take about 45 minutes. And then we'll eat. And then we will leave tomorrow, probably about 1 o'clock as a team to go to Montana. And then we will have dinner at the hotel there. So we'll do it as a team tomorrow night.
Oh, that'll be special, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah.
What an opportunity, number one, to play in the FCS playoffs, and we'll get to all the success and what went into it and all of those things. But it also provides you this opportunity to spend this time with your team, right?
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's another opportunity for us to be thankful, to be grateful, to play on this weekend. Some of us will be away from our families, but this is what we worked for. This is what we talked about. And we'll have a chance to prepare for our game, but also have a chance to reflect on the season and also just the things that you may take for granted to be thankful for, like your health and the air that we breathe, the country that we live in, all the things that you kind of assume is automatic and think is going to be available to you any day. It can be taken away at any point in time, our freedoms, So we're going to really celebrate and have a chance to, again, do some team bonding stuff, watch some games, laugh, but more importantly, prepare for this game.
Fishbone's got a place out in Montana. Have you ever been to Montana?
Man, first time ever, man. I've been trying to get out there. Heard nothing but great things about it.
Yeah.
My wife's going to roll with me, so I know she's going to go and do some spa stuff. And because it's a night game, so we'll have plenty of time between Thursday and Saturday night for her to get into some stuff. So, it's going to be a great environment. I'm excited about it. Can't wait to go. I know it's going to be cold. I like that part of it. It's November football. And this is where championships are won in the elements, unless you're down south and, where, y'all like the still like the warm weather. You know what I'm saying? It's like the SEC country. Y'all all got the bowl games down here, everything. But we'll get into all that later on.
Listen, if this helps with the message, it's actually going to be right about the same temperature here on Saturday as it will be up there.
I know.
So there you go.
I know it is. So it is. I might be colder here, ironically, but we're really excited about it, man.
Yep. Eddie George with us, TSU football coach, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
All right, Coach, man, great job as far as, when it comes to individual awards and accolades and things of that nature, man. Your resume is really long, and we all know, people that have followed you know that you don't really set out for those. Those comes with team success. So with this team success that you've had, you've been able to get, the honor of Coach of the Year. How does that feel, man?
Slade, it feels incredible, man, to be recognized by your peers as Coach of the Year, but it's a testament to the staff that I have here. That is my assistant coaches, our strength coach, Scott Holsopple, our chief of staff, our DFO, because as you know, bro, it's tough, where we are. We don't have all the resources.
No question.
And we've put in a lot of hours and invest a lot of time in developing these young men. And the stuff you don't see on a day-to-day basis on Saturdays, just getting to Saturday, it can be, you have to win that battle.
Yeah.
So there's different games we play prior to kicking the ball off that we have to win prior. So it's a testament to the staff that's been put together here. And I told them today in the staff meeting, I said, you guys are the coaches of the year. because you make me look good and you try to make my job easy. So thank you. And this is the quality work that you put in. So you enjoy the success. So I'm just the figure that gets it, but the praise really goes to those that work for us and work for me and really have done an outstanding job making sure that we run smoothly and at a high level and at an elite level. So it goes to them.
No doubt about it. All right, Coach, man, that was the hard-hitting stuff. Now let's get to the boom boom room. Let's go have us a little fun. Coach, now
you're going boom boom room.
Yeah,
with
man. And Coach, if you accept these terms, man, going into the boom boom room, the door's locked behind you. The only way you can get out is the door get unlocked, and that's by me. You have to answer everything truthfully to the best of your ability. Do you agree to these terms?
I agree to these terms.
Zelf, lock the door. All right, Coach Eddie George of the Tennessee State University Tigers going into the boom boom room. All right, Coach, first and foremost, man, give me one thing when you first took over at Tennessee State University that when you sat down in your office, you finally got a moment to yourself, a thought that crossed your mind, whether it be, man, I got to get this recruit, or I got to try to do this, or man, maybe I need to get some different equipment, or maybe I just need to take a minute to myself. What was something that crossed your mind what made you say,
You know what? It was, man, I can't believe I'm doing this sugar honey iced tea.
That's right.
That's exactly. I said, wow. I said, man. I'm sitting at my desk now, like doing this interview, and I'm thinking back to 4 years, like, man, can you believe this? Coming out of COVID, and just like questioning, man, is this really for me? And God put me in this position, put it on my heart, and I just trusted the process. I trusted the path, man, and just stayed true to it. The blueprint, sought knowledge, got mentors, and here we are, So, yeah, that was the first thing that crossed my mind. And then when I said, okay, we going 10 toes down, fully immersed, I'm not looking back. And, hey, I burned the boats, man.
Yeah.
We ain't going back.
Yeah, we ain't going back.
We ain't going back.
Love that. Give me, all right, now when you take on this athlete nowadays compared to the generation of athlete that you grew up in, what's the biggest difference that you see in today's athlete versus the athlete that you grew up in?
The biggest difference is sensitivity.
Yeah.
I think a lot of young men can be very sensitive. You have to earn the right to coach them hard.
Yeah.
The days of you coming through the door and just unloading on a kid if he's late. You gotta, it has to be framed differently.
Right.
You gotta do it with a smile. You gotta say, okay, there's some extra effort that we want to do because you're late.
Yeah.
Okay, and that extra effort is a drill that you have to do around the field, where you get on your knees and your toes and your hands, and you've got to crawl around. Okay, the entire field until you touch every single pylon, and when you're done, then you can go back to your work. So it's framed that way versus, how we were brought up in it. So, I think it's that, and it's okay. I've learned to coach with compassion. I try to be I am going to be as real and transparent with you as possible and give you the cold, hard facts. And I'm going to love on you when it's time to love on you, but when it's time to get busy and, discipline is in order, that's number one. Otherwise, I'm not trying to run a daycare. I'm trying to build men.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to build men. So that discipline is something that has to be there. That's the first brick laid. And that's how I was raised in this thing. That's how I was coached. And that's how I'm going to do it. But I'm going to frame it differently at times, just according to the person.
I got one. Can I hop in
real
quick off that? It wasn't easy for you when you got to Ohio State. Does that memory and that experience help you with today's athlete?
Well, it wasn't just Ohio State. I went to a military school. That's where the foundation was set. It was at Fort King Military Academy in Virginia. So I learned real quick that I wasn't the best player on the field, and I had to work my tail off just to get time at Fork Union. And I had a limited amount of time to get it done. I went there as a junior, and I learned discipline. I learned that my schoolwork was the way to all my success. I learned that being the small things matter. Because we had to have our rooms cleaned a certain way. We had to have hospital corners on our bed. We had to have our beds made as soon as we got out the bed, and had chores and all that. So I've learned that all the small, minute things really tell a big story, and it translates over into your daily life. So that's kind of how I base everything off of at this point.
I know what it was like, man, I grew up at Tennessee State University all through the golden era, early 80s, all the way up into the 90s when basketball took off with them, as well as football with Coach Merritt, Coach Gillum, all of these. Like it was a different culture, and it seems to be getting that back with Dr. Mickey Allen getting back in there, you getting into the fold, Penny Collins. It's a group effort. But I asked, man, what was the biggest difference from you playing at Ohio State to being a head coach at an HBCU?
Well, it's resources.
Yeah.
It's training table. It's ice tubs. It's a training facility that's focused on. I mean, it's night and day.
Right.
I mean, that's what it is, man. And I'm pretty sure you know that. I'm playing at UT.
No question.
So it's the resources. But the thing is that we've got to do hard better, and we've learned to do that. I mean, you can use. I'm not using anything as an excuse. I'm going to work my tail off to make it convenient as possible for us to be successful. But honestly, man, all you need is a weight room, some grass, a hill or two, and some pads. And let's get busy. Yeah. To be honest with you, that's you don't really need all the other stuff, but you have to have that other 10 to 15%, like the resources there to really rock and roll, so you can be efficient, so you can have sustainability and really attract, the recruits that you need. So that's the biggest difference, man. Our offices are quite different. We're in an old dorm room right now. We don't have a fancy facility with offices and your media room and your training room and training. It's fragmented, and that's the biggest difference that between Ohio State and certainly in Tennessee State.
Okay, then let me say this, and I'm going to let you out of the boom boom room, because we know you are not the one to get onto the soapbox, man, unless it's motivating people to go in what direction. But I'm going to step on the soapbox for a minute, because I remember when you took the job over. You brought in people like Hugh, and everybody used it, and was able to springboard into other spots. And a lot of people, like I'm in the barbershops. I'm out here feet on the ground, grew up in the inner city, and there was a lot of talk. Man, you don't see Coach Eddie out here doing this. He ain't doing that. He ain't wearing certain type of blue, this, that, and the other. And I kept on telling them, y'all wait. Y'all be patient. Just because it don't look a certain way, you can't see it on the surface, don't mean underneath that the work ain't being done. And this right here is the payoff. 4 years later, being able to go get an OVC championship, being able to go get Coach of the Year, being able to have young men graduating and really come back and support the program, and trying to gather resources and people. Quit all that talking if you're not going to be one of the people that show up at the game, buy tickets, and also go and support this team. So I just want to say that's me as a TSU baby, and I'm going to keep supporting. And you ain't got to say a word, Coach Eddie. So you need somebody to talk for you, you bring Big Slay in, and I'm going to let you out the boom boom room. Unlock the door.
All right, there we go.
Yeah. I've been waiting on this moment.
You have.
I'm telling you, man.
I mean, you've talked about that before,
man.
So now you get the prime podium there.
Yeah, man. You deserve it, man.
I appreciate it, Slay. And here's the thing, man. Like when I first got the job, everybody said, I wasn't wearing TSU gear. Well, I didn't have any.
I didn't have any.
I don't. What do you mean? I didn't have any gear.
I kept saying
So
that.
what can I do?
And y'all was crossing over from different. Y'all was going from Under Armour
Right.
to Adidas and all. Like it was so much more.
Yeah,
Man.
there was nothing for me to wear. I mean, okay, I was like, all right, bet, I get it. Okay,
Yours ain't the one sitting right there on the rack, man. This is a different type of body style that's going to have to fit these clothes.
I'm like, it takes time to try to get stuff in. Can we, give me a little grace? Grace?
Just a little bit. That's all.
That's all. That's a little grace. Like, what I'm saying?
No doubt, man. No doubt.
I love that EG laugh.
Yeah.
Eddie George with us, CSU football coach. All right, give us the key here. So 9-3, 1-7 out of 8. I know Draylon Ellis is playing well at quarterback. Your son's playing well at defensive line. What's been the key for the success this season?
Oh man, it's been buy-in from the kids. They we started off last year. We had our first winning season at 6-5. We started off 6-2, lost our last 3 games. Yeah, made some changes in our offensive staff. Had to get someone that's going to bring my vision to fruition. Travis Partridge, Chewy, Chimura. Seth Hessness, those are guys that came in and really formed this offense that I wanted to have. So it was really getting the offense to marry with our defense. We've always had a strong defense and developed a strong special teams unit. And we just worked our tail off over the spring, summer, and fall to really hone in on our identity, the techniques, the fundamentals, and so forth. And that just transpired over to the season, and it just kind of built like fire, man. And, the thing that I preach is fundamental football. We don't turn the ball over. I think we're number 1 in the conference in terms of turnover margin, and we create turnovers. We're number 1 in getting the ball out and getting fumble recoveries, tackles for loss. We're getting teams behind the chains. We're getting our run game is really starting to come to fruition right now. The back end of the season where we're getting efficient runs, positive yards on first. So all of it's come together at the right time, and these guys really fight for each other. We were able to really put together a strong October and a November, and got better each and every week.
Big number 44, Eric George, 5.5 sacks, playing really well. How exciting is it? How grateful are you for the opportunity to share this experience with your son?
Oh my God. I mean, I couldn't have written this, man. I didn't want to coach before. I never thought about it. And I coached, during his junior and senior year in high school. And then he came to me last year and we talked about this time last year after our season. And we were watching a FCS playoff game. We said, okay, next year is going to be us. How do we get there? What are the things we need to do? And I said, the first thing we got to do is, one, we have to build stronger relationships. We got to get to know one another. Yeah. We got to learn to really respect and love one another, fight for one another. 2, we have to take ownership of the standard. And then 3, we have to lead. Really be leaders, not just talk about it, but live it. You know what I'm saying? So, and to have that moment, man, God, it almost brings tears to my eyes, because to have that moment of, as a dad, to be with your son and to say, God, we're living this dream. We just won an OVC championship and we're smoking a cigar together in the locker room. That's priceless, man. And no one can ever take that moment from me with my youngest boy. And that's everything. That's a wonderful gift that God could ever give me, to experience this with my son.
Big South OVC Coach of the Year, Eddie George, headed to the FCS playoffs. Round 1 at Montana, Saturday. Y'all can watch it on ESPN2 at 9:15 p.m. Central. EG, great catching up with you as always. Congrats on the success, man. Keep grinding. Happy Thanksgiving.
We'll do, man. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, boys. All right.
Doubt, man.
How about EG?
Yeah, that's how you deliver. That's how you deliver right
Ooh,
now.
Baby. All right, let's talk Tennessee Vandy coming up next. Josh Ward joins us from Knoxville on 104.5 The Zone. Football time in Tennessee. Where are you catching all the college and pro games this season? Scoreboard Bar and Grill is where you need to be. Scoreboard Opry near Opry Mills Mall, OG in Donaldson, and Scoreboard Cedar Creek in Mount Juliet, open all year long. Beautiful location there as well. All Scoreboard locations have brand new football menus with new food and drink items. Sure to impress anyone. Some of the best hot chicken, slow smoked ribs, and barbecue, the coldest beer, and the largest Bushwhacker selection in Nashville. All locations have plenty of free parking. Scoreboard Bar and Grill has its own built-in party. Every scoreboard has tons of TVs, and they'll have your favorite games on with full sound. All the local college action you need, all the pro action you need on Saturday and Sunday, you can catch at Scoreboard. Also on Sunday, they have the games on. Stick around after the game for the Spasmatics, 4 until 7 o'clock. If it's football time, it's Scoreboard time. Scoreboard Bar and Grill. Three HL 1045, the zone. Britt Doherty, Ron Slay with you. How about Eddie George, man? You okay over there?
Can't get my stuff together, man. Great interview, man.
Josh Ward joins us now from Josh and Swain up there in Knoxville, the sports animal. Tennessee playing in Nashville, if you haven't heard, on Saturday against Vanderbilt. Spot in the playoffs awaits. Josh, what's up? How are you?
Good. Yeah, this is like a playoff game, right, for Tennessee with the position it's in after the ranking came out.
Absolutely. So we talk about the batter Vol syndrome. You experiencing any of that up there in Knoxville this week, or are people pretty confident?
Well, yeah, there is a little bit of the BVS, the nervousness because of what's at stake here. But it's almost like I've seen some Tennessee fans trying to help out the fans that are concerned. So there are the fans that have said, "Oh man, I'm nervous here. I'm a little anxious going in." And then we'll have another Tennessee fan come in and say, "No. Tennessee's going to win by 30. They're going to crush them." So either just real fear going in or supreme confidence to help balance it out. But I think both are explainable why heading into this.
I would advise Tennessee to not start offensively as they did against UTEP in that first quarter.
That's exactly right. And that when we actually get to the talk of the game versus the emotions that fans are feeling, that's a common theme in the conversation of don't allow that first quarter. Do what you did against Georgia where you came out strong and then build on it and make Diego Pavia and that Vanderbilt offense try to come back probably through the air if Tennessee's able to build a lead through the middle of the second half of the game. And I think that's the best bet. If Tennessee can fix some of the first half issues that it's had, and we've talked about this a bunch, but if they can do that this week, that gives Tennessee a very good chance to win the game in Nashville.
Then with so much light on this game, you coming out of the game against UTEP, that's a little bit different. But walking into this with Vandy, there's a lot on the line. It is an SEC opponent. It is a rivalry. And if you're Dylan Sampson, you've been left off the award list that matters the most. Now, of course, it doesn't matter about individual awards, but with the team success that he's having, he's a key cog in that team's success. Running the ball is what he does, Josh. Like, he got to come in with a chip on his shoulder, don't you think?
Yeah, my thought today, Ron, was that I think we might see a little bit fresher and definitely an angrier Dylan Sampson because they didn't have to rely on him too much. That was good. Yep. I think he got 11 carries, caught the ball a few times, but as the game went along, he was able to go stand on the sideline. He's carried the ball. He's carried the offense so much this season. And then the Doak Walker Award, it's no disrespect to the other three players because I think all three are terrific players. Genty's numbers are incredible. But we've seen what Dylan has done. He's done it in the SEC, and he's, again, been required to do so much for Tennessee to succeed at times this season. He knows how good he is, and I think his teammates are probably going to go in fired up to show Dylan Sampson should have gotten more love from a national standpoint. So this is one of those games where you're trying to get to the playoff. Dylan doesn't lack for motivation, but the great ones also look for every little bit they can add to the plate, and this one he's got plenty. So Darrell Sims stood up for his guy this week, Tennessee's running backs coach, calling him the best in the country, and I think we're going to see a lot of Dylan Sampson, and why wouldn't we expect him to run really well because he's done it all season long, no matter the opponent.
Yeah. So how do you think this game goes down, Josh Ward?
I think it's probably a mix of what we talked about. I think Tennessee will come out and can they avoid mistakes? Can Nico connect early? Because, part of it was just, inaccurate, and they had to punt the football away. Defense got the ball back for them, and finally they got into a groove. I said today 27-17, Tennessee over Vanderbilt. Vandy's offense has struggled to get to 20 the last few weeks. Tennessee's defense all season long, except for the Georgia game, has not allowed an opponent to get to 20. So I've got Tennessee's defense holding Vandy underneath, and Tennessee's offense, while it hasn't been great, in recent games, they figured some things out. And by the end of the fourth quarter, they were able to get to that 24 to 30-point range. I think they do that again.
Josh Ward in Knoxville, the sports animal at Josh_Ward, co-host of Josh and Swain. Thank you, Josh. Good stuff, man. Appreciate you.
Josh.
You got it. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, brother. Josh does a great job.
Just plain and simple. Just break it on down, get on out of there. I think that was good. That was what we were looking for. Any BVS out there, to me, is baffling. Like, how can you just continue to walk around like that? Like, what do you... My thing
I know, and it's like, how I live my life, and it still hits me sometimes.
No, but this is the thing. Like, I think you start to think about the other team too much. It's one of those things.
I think that's exactly right. Good.
You know
good
what I'm saying?
point.
Like Hypo said it when he came to the podium. Like, yeah, I could come up here and give a pitch for the college football playoff where I think we need to be. But at the same time, what about if we just handle what if we just handle what we handle? Like what we can control. And that's what it is. Like, you got some angry guys over there too, man, with a lot of stuff on the line, with a lot to prove. And when you talk about Cedric Tillman and Hyatt and all the Velus Jones and Hendon Hooker and Jalen Wright, all those guys walking out of that program and able to look back and be like, man, look what we started. If they can do that and they are heralded when they come up here, imagine what this class can do. Omari Thomas, Dylan Sampson, even though he has an opportunity to come back, Brew McCoy. Like, imagine what this collective bunch has the opportunity to do. And you talk about looking back. Man, anytime any one of these guys from this class come on board, it is on. Like, don't pay for a tater chip. Man, let alone a meal. This is what this is about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm coming from.
What you're saying is playing right into what I pulled from a Tennessee player, which in a lot of times when you hear players talk, that's coming from coaches, and that's the message of the week. But this is Tennessee defensive lineman Bryson Eason said, quote, "Of course we're going to get their best. Of course we're going to get their best. We're focused on us and making sure they get our best."
That's it, dog. That's it. I remember when we matched up senior night, senior night, whichever one. Basketball, we were playing Mississippi State. Mississippi State was a very good team. Like, they had draft picks on their team. They knew what they were going to be. They were right there in the tournament already. And everybody kept talking about, in the media, man, how you going to do this? How you going to do that? You got Big Mario Austin. What are you going to do with their guards? Derek Zimmerman, Tim Bowers. And my response to them was, man, what they going to do with me? Did y'all forget? Like, I understand they ranked top 15. That's cool. And we ain't ranked. And we on the bubble. But did y'all forget who we got in our locker room? We got me. Like, is y'all crazy? And we went out there and beat them by about 10 or more. Like, dude, it's not like, man, if you worry about you, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine, dog. I'm telling you. I'm Dylan Sampson. Josh, I didn't even take that point. Like, this man is fresh and angry.
He carried the ball 11 times last night.
Come on, dog.
And got out early.
Come on, man. Come on.
And just got.
And it's his style. This is that chop the wood physical style. If you want to play that style, we want to play it too. That plays in the hand to me of this offensive line.
Big matchup with Langston Patterson, who had 15 tackles at LSU, and C.J. Taylor against that run game.
Last time Tennessee played Vandy in Nashville, 4 50-yard touchdown runs from running backs.
It was raining like crazy.
Plus, Dylan Sampson had that Doak Walker chip on his shoulder come up this week, too.
Yeah. Jalen Hyatt caught one pass, and it was over for him.
Yeah.
80-something yard pass.
5 o'clock hour coming up. When we come back, Todd Fuhrman, Bet the Board podcast. We're going to break down Tennessee Vandy from a betting perspective, among others. Next, 3HL 104.5 The Zone.
I want to tell you about outdoor lighting perspectives of Nashville. Maybe you are like we were and you couldn't see anything around your home because it was too dark, especially now since it starts to get dark in about 30 minutes here in Nashville. Well, you need to call my friend Bob Lyons over at Outdoor Lighting Perspectives of Nashville and let them light up your night. For over 38 years, they've been taking care of homes with landscape lighting, Nashville's oldest landscape lighting company, but still the leader in LED technology. They can beautify and enhance your home and your landscape with festival lights, with path lights, wall washing, tree lighting, area lighting, which is something that we really needed. They put lighting into our deck, which is amazing and makes such a difference. So let them make a difference for your home. And they've been around. They're a family business since 1986. You know you can trust them. Residential landscape lighting, commercial lighting, holiday lighting. They do full service holiday and event lighting on top of it. Give them a call, 615-376-LIGHT, LITE. Tell them Dawn sent you. You can always just go online too and schedule a free nighttime lifetime design demonstration with Bob and his team. That's outdoorlights.com/Nashville.
Good evening. It is 5:01. I'm Joe Spadano live from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. Titans are back on the practice field today as they get set to head to Landover, Maryland to face Washington Commanders on Sunday. No sign of Calvin Ridley. Arden Key or Roger McCreary during the open portion of practice. Leroy Watson, Harold Landry, Jeff Simmons, and Jalen Duncan all reportedly worked on a side field. Head coach Brian Callahan spoke with the media earlier today and described what they would be facing and star rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels on Sunday.
He's so poised in the pocket. He doesn't get rattled. He moves around well. He finds lanes. He knows when and where to run, and he's also very quick with the draw, knows when to run, knows how to get out of bounds and get down. He's sort of the driver of their run game and their pass game.
Tennessee basketball wrapped up a 43-point victory today over UT Martin. Score leaders for the Vols include Chaz Lanier, who had 18, Zakai Ziegler, who had 11, and Felix Akpara, who had a double-double with 10 points and 11 rebounds. For our foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you need to visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Three at 104.5 The Zone. Brent Doherty with you on a cloudy and cold and beautiful Thanksgiving Eve evening.
It's here. Ready to roll. It's Trash Talk Friday. Wednesday. Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. Don Davenport on assignment. She'll be back on Monday. And she will be traveling to Syracuse, New York.
Ooh-wee.
Babs has Miami at Syracuse.
Miami and the Q's.
Low key. That one could get interesting. Nobody talking about Syracuse. They're not a bad football team.
No, they're not.
And they have been in the past. They get a new coach. They're suddenly pretty good.
Yep. Putting some things together. Excuse me.
You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Wait, what do you... Is that Tahitian treat?
Yeah, man. I found
in a bottle?
I went in the store, dog.
What?
And I was like, you know what? I was late. I was about midnight.
Tahitian treat in a bottle?
Yeah, went on, scoop that up, yo. Kept on pushing.
Did you know about that?
What?
That was a thing?
Tahitian treat in a bottle?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I just remember it in a carton like 30 years ago.
In a can.
And in a can.
I remember in the can, yeah. Nah, this is
that's still a thing, Tahitian treat?
I just saw it. I only seen it in one store. I was actually looking for like a sun-kissed orange. Okay. I couldn't find the sun-kissed orange, and I saw this.
All right, so Zeph just told us that Todd is in a spotty area as he travels, but he still made time. So
listen, Todd is spotty, so it fits him.
Todd, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, guys, and I apologize in advance if I break up throughout the course of our lovely football discussion.
Well, let's go ahead and start with Tennessee and Vanderbilt then and get this one going. Tennessee, a 10.5-point favorite at Vanderbilt. What do you think about this matchup?
It's a big number, and you can understand why, given everything that's at stake for the Vols. There wasn't a team other than Indiana who probably benefited more by the goings-on around the country last Saturday. Here for the Vols, you have to imagine they're one of the 12 teams that has a chance at a national championship. We've seen Vandy all year, guys, cover these numbers as dogs.
Yeah.
Last week, they did the same as a 7.5, 8-point pup at LSU. For me, though, I look at the total, and I wonder where the points come from with both these teams. Tennessee has feasted on some of the lightweights, as Slay knows all too well. But this, for me, has the feeling it's going to be a little bit of a defensive-minded football game. I can see under 48.5, 49 making a lot more sense than laying the lumber with Tennessee on the road to national.
So you think Tennessee wins a low-scoring game? Is that what you're saying?
I do. I think Tennessee's good for 24 to 27 points, and we could fall somewhere in that ballpark of 24-13, 27-17, somewhere where the number is going to be in jeopardy throughout.
Yeah.
But it's the defense that dominates.
You okay with that, Slay?
Yeah, I ain't okay with that, but I know we and him will disagree. So it don't matter. It's just like I told him last week, we was going to cover that big number.
The biggest thing is you guys can't play UTEP and Kent State every week. You do have to beat an SEC opponent from time to time.
Well, guess what? We ain't playing UTEP, but we're going to play like it's UTEP. How about that? And put up a whole bunch of we putting up over 40 points. You can take that and book that one.
I mean, when have you done it so far in the SEC?
You worry about the wrong things, Todd Father.
And the light bulb is going to click on this week.
Todd Father, you always trying to think in the past and always think in the future. Live in the present and everything will be fine. That's who I am. But moving on.
He did say there was value in the Titans last week, which led me, I wasn't going to bet that game, and I did. So thank you, Todd Father.
I was nervous about that.
Hey, every now and again, a blind squirrel finds a nut with the Tennessee Titans.
That's your heartthrob. Your heartthrob. Yeah. Clemson, South Carolina, man. This right here, South Carolina looking to lay some stake. Dabo looking to show these people we are serious and we should be in somebody's college football playoff. What's your thoughts?
You know, it's wild to me, Slay, that Clemson continues to get all this buzz, and if they get the right dominoes to fall, that somehow they're going to get a seat at the table. What have the Tigers done this season to lead you to believe they're one of the 12 best teams in the country? Lost by 30 to Georgia in the season opener, stubbed their toe and then some against Louisville. Sure, you've run through the ACC. Congratulations. Find me the marquee win on that schedule. I can't do it. The problem I have here getting behind South Carolina is the number's just too short. The Gamecocks opened as much as a 4.5 point dog. We're now below a field goal. Do I think South Carolina wins? Yes. Am I willing to back them plus 2.5? Just too short. I can't get involved here. But this will be a massive game for Shane Beamer and company to put a bow on what has been a phenomenal season in Columbia.
What about Babsey's game up in Syracuse? I low-key think this is going to be an interesting matchup with Miami. Miami's defense, if people haven't watched them, because I know you get caught up in the headlines with Cam Ward, but their defense sucks.
And I think that might be an understatement. When you look at how poorly their defense has performed in some of these games, I mean, that secondary is ripe for the picking, and we know what Kyle McCord and company can do, looking to try and air it out. It's a difficult building to play in if you're not that familiar with some of those surroundings. The total, though, is a little bit tall for me at 67. The one thing we saw last week from Wake Forest, they tried to shorten the game against Miami and limit possessions. The problem is it started to snowball on them in the second half, and yet somehow Miami, much like the Duke game, it's the one-score game, you blink and they're outside the number. So I'm not running to the window to try and get behind Syracuse. If I was going to bet the Orange, though, maybe you take a little bit of a flyer and bet them on the money line in the first half. Miami has been an awful team in the first half, especially on the road, and Syracuse may be poised to land a few haymakers with all the pressure in the world on the Hurricanes Saturday afternoon.
Well, it makes sense right there. Let me see. Can we get an upset in SoCal with Notre Dame and USC?
You know, pretty impressive for USC. They're one of 6 teams in the country that's had a lead in the fourth quarter of every single game. The problem for USC is they've lost 5 of those games. The other 5 teams have combined to lose 5 games, and we're talking about teams like Ohio State, Oregon. So a bounce here and a bounce there, and this is a much more successful season for Lincoln Riley. My concern here for SC is the change of quarterback. If it's Miller Moss, I have no problem backing them as a 7.5 point dog. But Jaden Maiava, yes, he makes those highlight reel plays, but I saw enough of him at UNLV that you can throw some wrinkles at him, confuse him, have that untimely turnover. And my reality here is that I think Notre Dame can just wear them down physically. Lean under the total, but again, at 7.5, I think odds makers have done a nice job. At 10, I would clamor for USC, and at 6.5, I'd probably be looking to bet the Irish.
Gotcha.
Todd Fuhrman, our guy in Vegas, Bet the Board podcast. What is the podcast schedule this week? I know you're traveling with family.
Yeah, podcast is out in earnest, and we love Brad Powers. He just didn't follow directions. So instead of offering 1 or 2 game breakdowns, Brad covered all 60-plus games in the FBS rotation.
He did that last year, too. I remember that.
He decided he was going to go all out. So, you know, I pulled back the curtain a little bit on the process. We all recorded our parts separately because of the varied travel schedule. So I offered a best bet in college. Payne offers a best bet in the NFL. Brad sends over his file to Payne and myself. We look at it. We go, wait a second. This thing is 62 minutes long. What the hell is going on? And you think it's going to be a lot of dead air. No, it's the exact opposite. Every single game in rotation order, from the game between Memphis and Tulane on Thanksgiving to the get-out game at 10 o'clock Central between New Mexico and Hawaii.
Wow. I am so listening to this tonight. Brad Powers, man. He goes all in when not supervised.
Exactly. You give the guy an inch, he's going to take a mile. God bless him for it. Guy loves his college football, and we know he starts to get a little bit nostalgic as the regular season is poised to wrap up in just 48 hours or so.
Top Father, real quick, Auburn, Alabama, the Iron Bowl. What is it? Any? I mean,
Auburn's confident.
Yeah, they talking trash, man. Can they catch them in Tuscaloosa though?
You know, I think they can, Slay. This Alabama offense, we don't know what we're going to get on a week-in, week-out basis, and that's been the real problem. I mean, Jalen Milroe put together a poor performance last week against Oklahoma. Now, I know the Sooners better defensively, than what you're going to get in a game like this week. But the problem is for Alabama on the defensive side of the ball, can they get off the field enough? Auburn going to look to shorten the game, and I think Auburn comes in loose and free trying to get bowl eligible. Lean towards the Tigers getting to 10.5 or greater. I think there's plenty of 11.5s throughout the market as well.
Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right, so we were communicating with each other. Like, we love to talk college football with each other, even when we're not on the air for 15 hours a week. So last week we were talking about watch Texas A&M go to Auburn and lose, and then beat Texas in College Station in that night game. What do you anticipate from that one? Number 3 Texas, number 20 Texas A&M, who oddly controls their own fate. The Aggies.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part about it. You know, everyone goes, oh, A&M stubbed their toe. What did the game last week at Jordan-Hare mean? The reality of it is absolutely nothing. So I think you're exactly right that A&M, if they can put together 4 quarters, they can generate some pressure. All the eyes are on the Texas Longhorns here. A&M comes in, plays loose and free, going to be an electric atmosphere. I'll actually bump up the home field advantage at Kyle Field, much like you do in a lot of these SEC night games. I would have loved to be able to get a full touchdown here. Odds makers ain't dumb. There's a reason that this number is below that secondary key at 6 in that 5.5 range. I think A&M finds a way with Marcel Reed not only to cover, but to win the game outright. So a high risk, high reward here would have no squabbles if people wanted to bet A&M on the money line in this game.
Like that, Top Five. You coming around. I've been telling you about these SEC stadiums, dog.
You're coming around.
Finally coming around. Mm-hmm. I knew it wasn't going to take long.
This is unreal. Hey, Slay, you know what? All I ask is that if Tennessee has a home playoff game, you're going to roll out the red carpet because maybe Insider and I will decide to make a trip down to Neyland for that game.
Hey.
You guys are pretty good luck. Pretty much good luck. You were at the Alabama game, not this year, but the previous one where they broke through.
I mean, look, 1-0 lifetime when I set foot in Knoxville in terms of goalposts making it into the river. So I'm more than happy to try and be able to contribute to that kind of debauchery again.
You come on, Top Father. I got you.
Slay, if it's anything like last time, you'll blow me off again. So I understand you're going to sound.
Phone service is terrible.
Yeah, going to sound like the consummate host right here, and then you're going to blame cell reception as if you can't find a way to get it bumped up in that neck of the woods.
I'm telling you.
Phone reception is better now than 3 years ago, isn't it?
It's way better. Yeah, I don't know what Top Father talking about.
So was your guy Payne Insider from Miami just wearing sunglasses in the U.S. Stadium for that night game against Alabama, and then you guys and Peyton Manning threw the goalpost in the river? Is that what happened?
He likes to keep a low profile. So Payne will wear sunglasses wherever he goes. And you guys have seen some of the wedding photos that have circulated. He kept his sunglasses on at the head table at the wedding because he didn't want to be recognized amongst 150 of his peers or so.
Sunglasses at the head table. I
love it.
That's outstanding. All right, is there another college game that we need to know about?
You know, last week on the podcast, we gave out Louisiana Monroe as our best bet, plus a couple of points against Arkansas State. Felt like that was the right side. They just weren't able to execute down the stretch. I'll go right back to Monroe, catching, 9.5 against Louisiana. Louisiana needs to win to get into the Sun Belt Championship, and we talk about it all the time. Pressure burst pipes. I think Monroe comes in, plays loose and free. They can run the football, shorten the game a little bit, and I think the Warhawks have a chance to win that outright. So I'll take the 9 with Louisiana Monroe in a game that I know all of the college football world to be watching.
That's the one.
Mm-hmm. What about the Titans? I know you say you stay away from them. You kind of low-key gave a pick last week. What do you think going into Washington at 5.5?
The number's tight here, and I think, this is a reflection of a Washington team who's starting to come back to earth a little bit. We've seen their offense get figured out, real banged up at the running back position, and it's been a battle. Folks looking to lay 5.5 with the Commanders, take 6 with the Titans. The problem for me is the mechanical handicap here says that you're buying Commander stock at the bottom of the market and selling the Titans at the top. So I just don't really want to get involved in this game. But I will be curious. If the Titans go out there, put together a complete effort, I've talked about this team being under the radar and a value proposition. Maybe they start to catch their stride over the latter portion of the schedule and can play spoiler with some of these upcoming games that they have in front of them.
Is there another NFL game we need to know about?
I think all 3 underdogs are alive on Thanksgiving. When you look at the Giants, they get an upgrade at the quarterback position with Drew Lock. Who are the Cowboys to lay more than a field goal against anybody, knowing they're playing their 3rd game in 10 days? The Lions injury report, they're a mash unit. You could be without David Montgomery or Amon-Ra St. Brown, so it changes the dynamic there. And I'll give you a sneaky upset. I think the Arizona Cardinals go on the road to Minneapolis and upset the Vikings. It is a much better matchup for Kyler Murray going against this Brian Flores defense that plays a lot of zone behind their blitz packages. Look for Arizona not only to cover, but to win that game outright in hostile territory.
You got big Thanksgiving plans, Todd?
Currently driving the parents and the family dog down to Phoenix. So if the reception was spotty throughout, there's not a whole lot of cell towers between Las Vegas and Phoenix. There are a lot more bodies buried out here than anything else.
Wow.
It's kind of like Rocket Top.
Are you gonna make a little pit stop in Sedona, buy some crystals or something?
I don't think there are any healing crystals in the immediate future for me. I got to be back in the home office for a little CBS work on Black Friday between the Chiefs and Raiders. And you know what? I got to make sure that I have good cell phone reception, because if Tennessee finds themselves down at any point on Saturday, Clay knows he's going to get a text message from me right away.
What about when they're up 20?
If they're up 20, then you start rolling out the red carpet and make sure I got the reservation at the single best tailgate in Neyland.
That's right.
In and around Neyland for the big playoff game that hopefully Tennessee gets to host.
Speaking of that, in all seriousness, Tennessee fans, who do they need to be, hoping gets upset? Are you looking at Notre Dame? Are you looking at Miami? Where are you with that?
I think if Miami were to win the ACC, you could see them jump into that bye spot as the ACC champion. I think you want Boise State, actually, to knock off UNLV in the conference championship there, so the Big 12 champion gets relegated. And I think if you get another domino or two to fall, Notre Dame probably the biggest to help out the Vols.
Yeah.
But there's a legitimate chance that Tennessee takes care of business. And the biggest thing is you just get a seat at the table, even if you have to go on the road. What better storyline than if Tennessee had to go to, say, Happy Valley and got to take on James Franklin and company in the first round of the playoffs?
And spank them.
Hey, Todd, don't disrespect Penn State. They're the fourth best team in America, we're told.
Yeah, the fourth best team, according to the committee, who's watched as much college football as my 5-year-old niece, who I'm about to spend Thanksgiving with.
Todd, happy Thanksgiving, man. We're very thankful for you. Appreciate you, bro.
Thankful for the opportunity, as always, guys. Have a great holiday and enjoy all the football that'll start in earnest tomorrow and carry us through the weekend through Monday night.
All right, safe travels, dog.
He just there.
He ain't got nothing to say.
Hey, that's Sedona?
Mm-hmm.
That's a wild place, man.
I ain't got no time for Sedona.
No, man. They it's beautiful, but they believe in aliens and they all have crystals, and the crystals have powers. And
I just made a great parsley.
you don't want to listen to my hokey talk.
No, let's they help them to parsley.
So Tennessee needs Notre Dame to lose. He basically said, just beat Vanderbilt. Have a seat at the table.
Dog. So that's the one. So this is what I'm going with. I got a 4-leg parlay off of that. I got to reuse the selections and add USC. That's the one I was missing. I knew it was supposed to be a 5-team.
So what are you looking at?
I'm looking at right now.
With your white cheddar Cheetos and your Tahitian treat. You're like, seriously, you're like at lunch in high school.
Yeah, absolutely. I got Tennessee minus 10.5. I should have took this up to 12.5. I know it'd be more than that. Louisiana Monroe plus 9.5. Auburn plus 11.5. A&M plus 5.5. Even though he said, you could take that money line.
Okay.
So, yeah, I went with that. But that USC Notre Dame, I knew I forgot one. Let me add that in.
You know what you haven't forgotten?
What have I
That Greg Cosell is coming up next.
That's my guy.
We break down the Titans' best film evaluator in football next on 104.5 The Zone.
Let's go. What's happening, fellas? I'm talking to you. You got to listen up, man, because if you're feeling a little groggy, your motivation is not where you think it should be, your energy a little down, you're tired all the time, I got something for you. You can't get in the game like that, but you can get in the game with GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Hurry on over there. If you're feeling a little down, you're ready to take the world on every day, but you ain't got the energy, that's where I come in. You listen to what I got to tell you. 1 in 4 men aged 30 and older experience T levels needing to be tested. That percentage increases as we age. Yes, 52% of all men will struggle with it. Now, you got to jump out there and get this opportunity there as it lies. You can go to Green Hills. You can go into Hendersonville. Either location, Game Day is here to help with those 2 locations. Here's the best part about all of this. Your consultation and lab work to find out what's going on in your body is completely free. You hear that? Completely free. That's right. Under no obligation to move forward if you don't think they are the right fit. Go to GameDayMen'sHealth.com to find your information on the 2 area locations and book your appointment online right there now. There's no reason to delay. Let's get in the game today with GameDayMen'sHealth.com.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. Watching number 4 Auburn play Memphis. You keep talking about Auburn's good.
Auburn's really good. If it's any hiccup that they will get, it will be because of Baker Mazara like last year. But they are really, really good.
You think they're the best team in the country at this point?
Right now, yes. Yep. And I think Alabama's second.
How about that?
And Tennessee is top 5. It's facts.
We talked about those 3 teams before the season started.
And Kansas is probably number 3.
There you go. Mm-hmm. You want to talk some football?
Give me some football.
Greg Cosell joins us, as he does every Friday, but today's Wednesday. It's Friday for us, Greg. I don't know about you, but happy Thanksgiving on the front end. Hope you're doing well, and always enjoy the visits. How are you?
Oh, that's good.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, like, if that's the way you're gonna look at it. Hey, there go Greg. What's up, Greg?
Greg, what's up, man? The first time Slade did that, he got me thinking that my headphones were not working and that he was actually having a conversation with someone. But anyway, Greg, how are you, man? Happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you guys. Yeah, it's good to be with you.
Let's talk about the Titans' win in Houston.
Okay.
And they get up over 30 points, which isn't a normal type of thing. Now they've done it twice this year, which they did not do last year. But I'm curious to get your take, I guess, on the front end about Will Levis. This is 3 performances in a row where it appears to be stringing positive things mentally, production-wise, all of it together. What are you seeing on film from him?
Yeah, I would say that in the last 3 games, there's a stronger sense of just comfort, poise, composure. Obviously there were 8 sacks. It's easy to say that many were on him. I looked at those pretty carefully. I don't know how they coach that. I didn't think that, with maybe a few exceptions, they were really clean throws. I guess you could always argue that you can throw the ball away or you can try to get out of the pocket.
Or for him,
but it wasn't as if he missed throws that were clean.
Yeah. For him, though, instead of taking the sack, you could, throw it underhand to the other team. He's done that before.
Well, that's true. He has. And he did throw the 1 pick, which I would love to hear what he says about it, because I know exactly what the play was. And I think he kind of threw that robotically based on what the play was and based on what he saw from the defense without really having a sense of where Jimmy Ward was. But again, there's no need for him to talk about it at this point. But, you're starting to see him make some throws that we all know he can make. You're starting to see him be a little more comfortable. So it's baby steps. It's incremental steps. He's probably now started about the equivalent of a full season in the league. So, and don't forget, they need a run game. They had a really good run game this past week. It's funny about offensive lines. I thought they were really good in run blocking, but I didn't think they were very good in pass protection for the most part. And it's funny how that works sometimes.
You know what else is funny is Slay used that analogy yesterday about Levis taking baby steps and even demonstrated to us.
All I'm saying, Greg, I'm just saying the exact same thing.
Well, yeah, it's incremental steps. The guy has got to string together game after game after game, have experience, and then you see where he is. Now, it's very possible the organization, and they're not going to discuss this, nor should they. They may have made a decision on whether he's the guy going forward or not. We don't know the answer to that. But, as I think I mentioned to you guys a number of weeks ago, when he was injured, when healthy, he should take every single snap. You just got to keep putting him out there, let him get more and more reps, see more things, react to more things, get more comfortable, understand game situations. People always think of the term game manager as being a negative term. It's not at all. You have to understand every situation. Brent, you were just joking about throwing it underhand, but that's part of the process. He has to understand that you can't do those things. He has to understand that in a given game situation, hey, maybe taking a sack is okay. In a given game situation, maybe throwing the ball away is okay. You have to work yourself through games like that and face all different kinds of situations.
Yeah, it seems like he's being coached because, we were talking about this yesterday. The first week, he's drifting to the left for some reason, which he hadn't done the previous year. We all talk about it. He doesn't do it in week 2. he even said last week, Greg, when asked about his process in these three, maybe it was this week, in these 3 games, he said, well, at least I'm not throwing the underhand pass or chest passes to the other team, which I thought was interesting. And maybe to your point that it looks like he's more in control. Maybe he is mentally, physically, everything. I don't know.
I'm sure that's been drilled into him as well. And then you've got to go out and do it. And he's certainly doing it better. There were really obviously the interception was a bad read and a bad throw, but you're not seeing many of those now. Now, there are things he must continue to work on, clearly. I think overall, he must continue to get quicker with what I call elimination and isolation. Most people call it processing. What I mean by that is he still shows a tendency at times to be a beat slow in coming off what's not there to get what is there. So that he needs to continue to work on. And I think one area that he really needs to continue to work on is pocket movement. Now, that's different than running out of the pocket.
Right.
He needs to develop, in my view, a better feel for navigating the pocket to reset his throwing platform to deliver the ball. He's kind of a stiff athlete. That's probably not going to change. So he can run in a straight line, but he needs to work on his flexibility so that he can kind of navigate the pocket. And that's a flexibility thing. Think of someone like Joe Burrow and how flexible he is in just moving around the pocket. Levis he'll never quite get to be Joe Burrow just because he's a much stiffer athlete, but he needs to work on that.
Absolutely. Greg, what did you see from the touchdown pass to in NWI, Nick Westbrook-Akine? What was the play? They said when Levis came to the podium, that's something we've been working on all year as far as setting that up. So I don't know if it was something going on underneath and that opened up or what. Did you get to see that?
Yeah, that came out of empty. So there were nobody was in the backfield with a Levis. They ran what we call mirrored routes to each side of the formation. So they ran the same 2 routes to each side of the formation. The Texans were in cover 4. So Westbrook-Akine was in the slot to the boundary side, the short side of the field, and he ran what we call sluggo, slant and go. And the safety jumped the in-cut, the slant part of the route, and that allowed NWI to easily get on top of him. And quite frankly, it just became pitch and catch. As long as you're protected, it became pitch and catch because he was wide open. So it was clearly a schemed play.
Yeah. Gotcha.
What about the throw to Chig also? I think, number one, it was impressive because he had thrown the pick six, and then they had fallen behind, and then they come up with that 70-yard touchdown where Chig just ran down the middle of the field and no one could catch him. What did you see?
Yeah, that was an interesting play, and I wish I could almost show people that play because that was a specific coverage that I thought, which I've seen before, and like I said, it's I don't know if I explained it because it's really going into the weeds, but essentially what happened on the play is Pollard and Chig were the responsibility of To'o and Al-Sha'ir. Okay, however they released, those 2 linebackers were going to pick one up and the other up, depending on the releases. But both linebackers got caught with their eyes in the backfield on the hard outside zone run action, and neither reacted to Chig's shallow crosser. So it became an easy throw, and then he hit the afterburners and ran away from the defense. But it was kind of a specific coverage that had a lot of detail to it. But the run action, which was hard outside zone run action, they really got caught watching that. To'o and Al-Sha'ir, and no one responded to Chig.
Greg Cosell with us. Sorry. NFL matchup. And I don't know why my mic gets turned off. I don't do it, and it does it. Anyway, maybe somebody's telling me something. Zev, God, I don't know. Greg, let's turn our attention to the Commanders with the matchup coming up this weekend. And man, they've hit the skids. Lost 3 in a row. Without that Hail Mary, they would have lost 4 out of 5. What's going on there?
Yeah, their offense has struggled a bit. I think that Daniels is just, working through kind of his rookie season. He hasn't been able to get the ball down the field as much as he did earlier. And it's hard to know what's in his head, so I can't speak to that. But they certainly have not had anywhere near the kind of intermediate passing game that they had earlier in the season. I think their run game, Brian Robinson missed some time. I think he's their best runner, and he missed some time, so that's been a little spotty. So and defensively, I think they obviously traded for Lattimore, who is still working his way back. So they obviously felt, and correctly so, that they needed help at the corner position. So they've just really struggled a bit on both sides of the ball, and which is surprising on the defensive side, because I think their D line has a ton of depth. They've got a really deep D line, and they play 8 or 9 guys every week, 15 or more snaps. And I think their 2 linebackers, Wagner and Frankie Louvu. Frankie Louvu was a really, really good football player. So it's been a little bit of an enigma to me as to why they've lost. I don't think they're a bad football team,
right.
But the Titans. We haven't talked about the Titans' defense, and that's a very, very good defense, by the way.
Yeah, leading up to that, Tavondre Sweat and Big Jeff just wreaking havoc up top. Yeah, like what kind of chemistry do you see them developing, Greg?
I think that they're a really good interior duo.
Yeah.
Simmons made a couple of really big plays in the fourth quarter. And I think that Sweat, for the most part, has been pretty consistently good all year long. And so that's a really good D-tackle tandem. I thought this past week against the Texans, I thought it was Murray's best game of the season. I thought he played really, really well. I thought he flashed throughout the game. He looked like the athlete I thought he was coming out of Oklahoma, which didn't show up that often with the Chargers, which is one reason they let him go. But I thought he looked like a big, fast, quick trigger athlete in this game. He made plays with pursuit, range, and speed. Obviously, he made the pick, but he also made a big-time pass defense play with less than a minute and a half remaining in the game. And, you've got to give a ton of credit to those 2 corners. Neither one was expected to play this year. Brownlee's a rookie. Baker's a free agent, who wasn't really in high demand. And those guys have played well. And then Worley probably found out about 5 minutes before the game that he was playing, and he certainly acquitted himself fine.
Yeah, no starters in the secondary for the Titans in that matchup, and they held up. Yeah, you mentioned Brownlee. Can you walk us through his interception, his first of the season?
To me, and again, I'd have to find out, from the Texans, but I thought it just came on a really bad throw, because it was what I saw it as snag flat. Snag flat is a basic concept that everybody runs. You normally run it to the short side of the field, the boundary. You have a flat route and what we call a snag route, which is about a 6-7 yard sit route. Everybody runs it. And Mechie sat down on the snag, and Stroud, to me, just made a really bad throw, putting the ball too far inside. Now, it almost looked like he was expecting Mechie to keep running. Maybe he thought it was a slant instead of a snag. That I don't know. Yeah. But Stroud basically threw it right to Brownlee.
Mm-hmm. There he is. He's Greg Cosell.
Appreciate it, Cosell.
Good stuff, man. Appreciate you hopping on Wednesday, and happy Thanksgiving, brother.
Enjoy.
Yeah, I hope you guys have a great holiday, and I look forward to seeing you next week.
You too, bro.
Gonna see us next week.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
He coming in town and we don't know? Or is he talking about on Zoom?
Oh, yeah. That's what it is.
That one just kind of I was getting ready to go to break. And then
I was going to say, maybe we're going to Army Navy.
Are we going to see Cosell? That would be great.
Yep, that's a little late.
Is he coming to the Christmas party next week?
Maybe.
Holiday party next
Possibility.
week? Maybe he is. We're in Smyrna that night, by the way. All right, when we come back, might as well wrap the Tennessee Vanderbilt week with Reese and Laura coming up next to Jill. Got the Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. That's where you need to go to get that next new vehicle. Whether you're looking for a car, truck, SUV, or Jeep, new or pre-owned, my guys at Gupton are ready to help you out. Daniel Gupton and his crew are very thankful for all of the 3HL listeners that include them in their vehicle buying experience, because when you go see my guys at Gupton, you will definitely make that purchase with them, and they'll stick with you through the service needs that you will have after the point of sale. Take a short drive to beautiful Springfield, Tennessee. Check out the all-new 2025 models of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, pickup trucks at Gupton, just 30 minutes from downtown Nashville at 3450 Tom Austin Highway. And remember that Gupton offers a full-service department to keep your new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in tip-top shape. From oil and lube changes, scheduled maintenances, to brakes, transmission servicing, and more, they will text you and let you know when your vehicle needs what it needs. For the best deals on your new vehicle and keeping it in the best service possible, you got to go to Gupton. Gupton, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram. Check them out online, GuptonMotors.com.
What's happening, y'all? It is that time of the year when the cold comes. Yes, the weather changes up. Ice storms happen, man. That means power lines get heavy. Boom, y'all. No power. Then you just got to sit around and just, I guess, find lighters and flashlights until somebody come and hook it back up. You can get ahead of that, man, if you go to Cove Generators and hit them up. They will never let you down. I'm telling you why, because they've been doing it over and over and over. Get you a Generac automatic standby generator of any brand, and they will do the work. Even dating now, if you hurry up and get involved in this, they got a holiday special for you at Cove Generators. They're offering a free upgraded 10-year warranty with any purchase of any Generac home standby generator. So you may go get the portable one, and they're going to get you right with that one. It's up to you to do the work, though. Be prepared for the next power. Call Cove Generators. Get them out and get ahead of it so you don't lose power again. Call them at 615-241-6343. That's CoveGenerators.com, and stay connected through it all.
I love living in Middle Tennessee. We've got great restaurants, entertainment, sports, and one of the nation's top Ford dealers right here in our backyard. Two Rivers Ford. Remember that name. Two Rivers has been a staple in our community since 1983. They're locally owned. They have a non-commissioned sales team, and they sell below MSRP. They've been doing business with integrity for decades. Two Rivers Ford, the South's most trusted Ford dealer.
3HL 104.5 The Zone. What did he say? A refrigerator in the road in Wilson County?
That's what I heard.
Better be careful. Better be careful is what he said.
He sounded so excited about it.
Hey, ain't every day you get to see a refrigerator in the middle of the road, yo.
I mean, is it like the deer rules where you can shoot a deer and then take it? Or no, it's the roadkill where the deer's already dead on the side of the road and you can take it?
Yeah, I got a partner there.
So if there's just a refrigerator that's on the side of the road, you can just take it?
Probably. That would help the community, probably.
Help the community.
Yeah, the road community.
Somebody get this fridge out of the street, please.
Take it with me.
Man. Zeph, you got something to say? You look like you're like, should I say this or should I not?
Oh, boy.
What are you doing if you're driving on the interstate going 80 miles an hour and
hey, stuff happens, man.
Fridge pops up right in front of you?
Yeah,
What do you do?
all I know is whoever's won't stop. Hey, whoever's trying to retrieve that refrigerator, please be careful. Holy crap. Like, because it's not like, you can run out there and run back real quick. I mean, you're talking about a refrigerator. It's not a hat.
No. Can't go get a hat either.
I'm really proud of Reese and Laura for hanging with us.
Those are true blue 3HL listeners right there.
Reese and Laura. Laura, what's up? How are you?
Family members.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy Thanksgiving, Laura.
Happy Thanksgiving, Greenwood
I'm
Gator.
going to make my Cracker Barrel hash brown casserole in a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I found the recipe.
Oh, boy. Here we
It's
go.
going to be good.
Yes, indeed.
Big player, you with me?
You better believe it, Reese.
Well, we were talking about our favorite side. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Go ahead. It's hash brown casserole, stuffing, and rolls.
Oh, and the rolls.
Okay, now are you with me, Big Play?
Yeah. Talk to me.
Okay. My favorite sides are a little different. Are you ready?
Yep, let's go.
Hot wings and beer.
That's your sides.
Yeah, I used to be fat. We don't do the whole fat person holiday. It's unbreaded chicken wings and beer.
Okay, all right. Well, I ain't mad.
Yeah, you can't be 300 pounds forever. You can't be diabetic. Now,
hang on. How much did you lose? 120?
Well, I was 286.6, and I went down to 135, but unfortunately, I'm up to 145 right now. You got to watch out, though.
That's a good way.
Yeah, it slipped back up on you.
Yeah, exactly. You got to watch out, or else next thing you know, you're 300 pounds and diabetic again. But, so, Big Slay, y'all were talking earlier about being bored, and I hadn't called yet, but I knew we were going to be on hold because we had so many guests today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, they said the line's 38.5, and I don't like big lines, right?
Right.
So I was like, no. So we had to turn the phone down, and we were watching the Tennessee game on the phone, and we were on hold. So we had y'all on hold, and we had to be prepared to hit the mute button. And we were watching the Tennessee game, and we were up 15 at half. And Laura's like, no, we hadn't bet on it yet. And Laura's like, don't do it. And I said, I'm telling you right now, we started off slow. We're up 15. The line was 28.5 at halftime. And I was like, well, if we played bad in the first half and turn that heat down, and we won by 15 in the first half, we ought to be able to win by 14 in the second half.
Yeah.
That's 29. So we didn't put a lot on it. We just put $50 on it because we were bored. And I was like, we're going to be on hold for a little while. We got a lot of guests. Just give us something to do.
See, that was my reasoning for Slay. That was my sales pitch for Slay. So how much have you put on Tennessee against Vanderbilt, Reese?
Well, I haven't put anything on that yet because I was waiting until I got through to Slay. I haven't even looked at the line yet. Slay, what's going on with that?
I got it, Reese, at I think 11. Was it 11.5?
It's currently
10.5.
Yeah.
10.5. I was gonna push it up to like 12.5 though.
Well, I tell you what. I'll be honest with you. Here's my thing on the game this week. I'm gonna bet something on it, Big Slay, because I promised you at the start of the year I'd bet every game on the Vols with you.
You did.
Even on the few games I knew we wouldn't cover, I still bet with you because I'm a man of my word.
Mm-hmm.
So the way we started out against Kentucky wasn't good. And the way we started out against UTEP was really bad.
Yep.
Vanderbilt is really mad at us.
Yep.
They always are. So if Nico has a first quarter like that, I still think we'll come back and win. But I don't like double digits. Vanderbilt's played a lot of good games and even won some.
Absolutely.
I think we'll win. I'm still going to put 100 on it because I love the Vols and I love you, Big Slay.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think they're 9-1 against the spread as an underdog and 4-4 straight up. I think that's what the numbers
that
are.
sounds about right because I've lost around that many and won that many. So I'm going to put 100 on it tomorrow when I wake up because I don't do anything over $20, $25 once I've had 8 beers. Now, when I called the show, I ain't going to lie to you, I only had about 4 beers in. Now I'm about 12 beers in.
Yeah, we were wondering how many beers you worked in there on hold for.
Yeah, about 12 or 13. And well, it threw us off calling on Wednesday, but we want to let you all know we appreciate y'all entertaining us all year, and it's Thanksgiving and all that, you know what I'm saying? So we had to get in before the end of the week. I don't know what we're going to do tomorrow and Friday besides work, but I guess $100 on the Vols. Big Slay, how much you putting on them?
I put, you know what? I'll put 100 with you. I'll go 100 too, Reese.
Yeah. Don't do anything under 100. If I'm doing 100, you got to do 100.
Okay. I got you.
Winning, we're in. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
We done cashed out on the mother load.
Yeah.
We done got the big money.
That's right.
Now we're good, but we got to win. No matter what, we got to win to get in the playoffs.
That's right.
Yes.
But also, we just need to beat Vandy to let them know they're still the little brother.
There you go. That's one of my main things.
All right, Reese and Laura.
Big Slay.
Yes, talk to me.
Do you know what time it is?
Yes.
It is football time in Tennessee. Go Big Orange. We're going to the playoffs. Rifles riding in on his white horse. There you go, Stapleton. We love y'all. Have a good holiday. Everybody drink a lot of beer. Woo!
There he is. Reese and Laura.
Happy holiday.
Happy Thanksgiving to those guys.
I like it, Reese.
12 beers while on hold.
Hey, there go my song. That's my song.
Gator Mike, we love you, bro.
Candy.
Happy Thanksgiving.
When I want.
Holler at us on Monday after you demolish Florida State.
Me, you're so dandy.
Auburn pounding Memphis.
I want to know, can you feel it too? Candy, just like I do.
We are so thankful for you guys that you include us in your day. We do not take that for granted, nor do we take that lightly. Have a great Thanksgiving week and weekend. Good night. God bless.
See ya. Wouldn't want to be you unless you're Traylon Burks, Tajay Spears, all that good candy that they give out on Halloween in the nice neighborhoods, the big chocolate fat bars, like the ones they gonna give out on West End. Heat 'em up. Candy, you on deck. You on deck.
Because it's all you know?
Because that's all we know.
Go Vols.